Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Neves brings it down on the volley. Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal. Oh, it's heard in. It's the underdog Doctor who arrives. Oh, the brilliant Belgian in the right place at the right time. Calls it all. That's unbelievable. Jean Martinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this?
A very good evening. Welcome to the home of football. This is Matchday Live Extra, live from Molineux this evening as Wolves take on Chelsea in the Premier League, looking to bounce back from two back-to-back defeats. Actually, very different circumstances amongst them, though. We will delve into some of that and more between now and kick-off. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me as ever is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson, and also joining us from home, Chris Iwelumo, and welcome back to Matchday Live Extra to Alex Rae as well. Plenty more big guests to come between now and kick-off. We'll get into the team news very shortly because there's some interesting things going on in amongst it. But first of all, before we get to that, just a quick reflection on the weekend's defeat. To you first, Tomo. We took some positives on Saturday's post-match show, and now you've had a bit of time to sit and reflect on it. What are your thoughts on that late, cruel defeat?
Well, it's very similar to what we thought about at the weekend. So, created a lot of opportunities, had the majority of the opportunities on target as well. But again, it just shows you that you've got to take them. You can't afford to keep missing chance after chance, because it don't matter how much dominance you had in opportunities in front of goal, it's always gives the opportunity for the opposition to get a goal or get something out of it, as they did. They got a penalty, which won them the game. And look, they'll be very disappointed with the way that things have gone and the result what they had at the weekend, because the chances what they had as well.
When you look at those chances, Chris Iwelumo, I am coming to you now. I know you're desperate to get in on this. Is it partly, do you put it down to just Emi Martinez had a really good game? Is a part of it that Wolves didn't quite do the right thing in front of goal?
Well, Martinez did. He won man of the match. It says that he did everything right. He kept his team in the game. They then had that one chance. I think they only had two chances on the day. But, you know, we created enough chances that we should have been out of sight. Now, Alex has sat on both sides. He's been a manager. He's been a player. Now, the thing we've sat and we've spoke about, the four at the back, the three at the back. But if the team is performing well, creating chances, and like you say, the opposition keeper was outstanding on the day, and you lose that game, as a manager, how do you look at that? Because it will hurt. I understand it will hurt, but how do you look at it as a manager and assess it?
Yeah, you always try and take the positives, Chris. That's for sure. I think the big worrying sign for me would be that if you don't create any chances, because then you're starting to really pick your head and go, right, okay, where are we going for here? Now, the other side of that as well is you have to be clinical. Tomo mentioned that if you're creating good chances, and I think it's kind of where Wolves are at the moment. You know, the results haven't been great of late, but the key thing is that not to give up hope. I think one of the big teams are coming, one of the top teams, Chelsea, coming into town tonight. You two guys will remember that, because as you're in that dressing room and you're looking across and you're going, right, there's some household names in there. It's an opportunity to go and showcase what you can actually do, get up and running. And I actually quite like the offensive line. Silva still raw, still plenty of talent. Podence can cause trouble for anyone. And then you've got Neto on his game. And I quite like that front three. Going back to the familiar back three, back five out of possession. I quite like the look of the way things are looking tonight.
Well, Alex has just told us what the system change is. So let's have a quick look at it if we can in just a minute. It is a switch back from four at the back to five, as you can see. Patricio in goal. Willy Bolly coming back into the starting lineup, having been on the bench on Saturday. Ruben Neves in for the suspended João Moutinho. It means that Adama Traore drops to be amongst the substitutes. Are we happy enough with that? I mean, Looms, I know you kind of wanted them to give it a go at four at the back and see what would happen. So Nuno's clearly thought, well, maybe we need to go back to what we know.
Exactly. I think you talk about the certain principles of playing. If it's 3 or 5 at the back against 4, the principles will be similar. But what we noticed, even against Aston Villa, under a good press, Connor Cody's getting no time at all. It's important that we can try and get him time in the ball, because with the range of passing that he has, he can hurt anyone. Now, Chelsea are one of the best at it without the ball. The way that they go and they hurry after it, they will press very high, that high block. And Connor Cody's going to need more time on the ball to hurt them. Neves in there has to be one, 2 touch football in there against a very good team tonight. So, and that's why I put that question to Alex, because against Arsenal we played 4 at the back and we done okay. We won the game. Against Liverpool, okay, they dominated the game with the ball. We still created chances. Connor Cody could have had a goal. Dendoncker could have had a goal. We still created chances. So the clinical side of the game definitely comes into it. Against Aston Villa, we spoke about it after that drubbing, after that schooling from Liverpool. We thought Nuno's going to change. Dave Edwards spoke sense. He says, as a manager, he wants to look at that. He wants to look at that against, no disrespect to Aston Villa, but a team that we're going to probably have more of the ball, dominate the ball, and we done exactly what he wanted it to do. You understand? It was an individual error that conceded the penalty. We should have been out of sight. Fabio Silva could have had 2 goals on the day. Dendoncker could have had 2-3 goals on the day. We could go through all those. So that's why I'm sitting thinking. But we did speak after the match and say, against a Chelsea, against one of the bigger teams, like Dave Edwards said again, he said that's probably when you go back to something that you're very familiar with, something that brings you success, something that says, even if we don't have a lot of the ball, we'll be hard to break down, we'll be hard to get, and then we've got speed, we've got pace, we've got quality in the team that we can go from back to front very, very quickly with quality and cause Chelsea problems. The chances aren't going to be as vast tonight, nowhere near. But you know what? We just have to make sure it's the clinical side of it again. If we get 2 chances tonight, we have to put one of them, minimum one of them away to get anything out of this match, because they're going to have chances.
Go on, Alex. I think you were trying to chip in.
Oh, no. Listen, I think when you go back to your familiar shape, since Nuno came in, then the 3 at the back has been a constant. I like the fact that they've tried to change to a 4, because it gives you a plan B. You've flexibility within that as well. So this is very familiar. And listen, again, it's about how the boy Fabio Silva copes with this kind of. But you're talking about 2 top operators at the heart of this Chelsea defence.
Tomo and I were just discussing before we started tonight whether there is an element, Tomo, about not having Raul Jimenez, that the initial change was made from Southampton going to Arsenal with Jimenez being around, and that maybe without your main talismanic striker, now is not the time to be trying to adjust the way you play. Just get through these games without him. Yeah,
as Alex is touching on there, it just gives them a different dimension to it, changing the side and the formation as well, which is great for any side, because they say, like, depending on who the opponents are, and I think that's what he's going to do more so. He's going to change the formation. Look, say we all know about Chelsea, and we all know about their squad. For my opinion, I think they've got the best probably squad in the league. And attacking wise, you just look at them as well. So it's going to be a difficult game. So look, and I think that he's without Jimenez, he's had to go back to the 3. Clearly, we missed the cutting edge what he gives us up front at the weekend. So even though we've created some great opportunities, and that'll be the confidence thing from the weekend, that they've created all those chances. But yeah, look, you're going to lose anybody like him, so for what he's done for this club and the time that he's been here. But there's enough quality here already that we can cause a problem for anybody in this league. But we've just got to make sure that we don't be silly and don't give things away. And as Loom's touched on, you've got to take your chances against these teams. You can't afford to keep missing.
Look, the false 9, or whatever you want to call it, playing with the false striker didn't work, with Traore, Podence and Neto. So we needed an outlet. We needed someone. But even the mould of Fabio Silva, he's a very intelligent player. You can see with his touches, his movement. He's got to kind of get it into that. He's got to be the focal point. He's got to try and stay away from play. And it's the hardest thing to do, Alex. It's the hardest thing to do. So, but he'll find those little pockets. He'll come away from Saturday's match thinking, I could have got 2 goals. So then he'll go and do whatever he needs to do, hitting the back of the net. The hardest thing to do in football. But he's got those minutes in his legs, Mikey. So he'll get stronger. He's just got to make sure that he gets into his head when those chances, even against the best team, there's going to be a chance that comes. There's going to be one chance that comes, and he's got to make sure that he is on point and clinical.
Because it's the interesting thing, isn't it, that he's not a target man. He's not someone that they're going to knock the ball up and have him challenge. But what he can do is still provide someone to play off. And as we saw on Saturday, he's quite clever at just providing that quick 1-2 with someone.
Yeah, but Jimenez isn't a target man. Jimenez is he's got an aerial threat. But we don't play up to him and expect, we're going to link off. That's not the way that we play. He's an intelligent footballer. But you know what? If you hang the ball up at the back post, I'm putting all my money on him winning that header and putting it in the back of the net. That's the difference. And that's something that we've all commented on, that Fabio Silva has to bring to his games. When you've got the likes of Neto and Traore putting balls in the box for you, Pedens, you've got to attack it. That's something that he has to work at. All the touches, the link-up play, he's got that. That's part of his game already. But you know what? It's going and saying, right, I'm going to be aggressive with that ball. And like you say, Alex, we spoke about what you've done. As a manager, you've got to think, right, okay, it's crossing and finishing. It's meeting the ball at its highest point. It's having that accuracy, exactly where you're going. It doesn't matter about the height of the player. I've played with players that are up to my shoulder, that are amazing in the air, that you can't mark because they're moving all the time. They're gambling with the ball is, and more often than not, they're reading the game, they're reading the ball, and they're putting the ball in the back of the net. So it's something that he can bring to his game, but he's no way a target man. But that's not the way that we play. We play from back to front on the floor with quality, chest down into striker, bounce it wide, and then it's a simple game. We overcomplicate it sometimes.
Whilst we've got Alex here, a very distinguished midfielder in his time, I want to talk about the Wolves midfield because on one hand, you've got Ruben Neves making his 150th Wolves appearance tonight, coming back in to start, and also Leander Dendoncker, Alex, who signed a new contract this week, committing his future to the club until 2023. What's impressed you about those two?
Well, they're different type players, Mikey. You look at Neves, technically very good, very industrious, an intelligent player as well, gets the odd goal from the outside the box. Dendoncker's give you the power, the driving force. He'll be the one that, if they do, someone goes forward, it's more likely to be Dendoncker. He can nick a goal. So I quite like that. I didn't actually know that Dendoncker had actually signed a new contract. I think that's good for the club as well. He's still young. So I look at the legs. The one thing that strikes me about Wolves, they've got so much legs throughout the squad, and they're going to have to utilise that tonight. Going back to what you were saying just prior to that about the Silva. See, as much as he's a technical good player, unless he gets a hold of that ball tonight, it'll become a really long night, because one way or another, you need someone to kind of retain the ball, to allow you to get a breathing space and get up that pitch. So, and again, that comes down to the service. If you can get Neves on the ball, and then one of the key things, and I think Conor Cody has this in abundance, is see that big raking pass, that big diagonal pass to get in behind them, because of James and also Chilwell, who then tried to break forward for Chelsea. If there's a turnover of possession, I'd be saying to my strikers or one of my wider guys, make sure you're trying to drive into that box for the quick turnover of possession, get us going the other way.
Absolutely. We will come back to some of this discussion, but we have our first guest of the night waiting to talk to us here on Matchday Live Extra. We can speak to a man who played for Chelsea under Jose Mourinho alongside Frank Lampard back in the day. Big welcome to Matchday Live Extra, Nuno Moraes. We might need you just to flip your camera, Nuno, just to one side so we can get you properly on. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, great.
Welcome to Matchday Live Extra. You are, of course, working with Mick McCarthy and Terry Connor over in Cyprus. We'll get onto that in just a second, because there's a couple of guys here who might be able to give you a couple of tips on how to deal with those two guys, especially. But first and foremost, how impressed have you been by what Frank Lampard has been doing at Chelsea?
Okay, he was always a great professional. When he was with me, I was very young, and he was one of the leaders that we had in the team. He always showed that he could be a great manager, and he showed really a lot of big professional. So I believe that in the same way that he was showing the professional in when he was playing, he is for sure that way in his way now in his new role as a manager.
Do you think his team reflects the kind of person and player he was? They're very attacking, aren't they? They've got a lot of young players who are more than willing to get on the ball first and foremost, and they're a big threat going forwards.
Yes, I believe he managed really good to build a team that he wanted, and together with some experienced players that they know already the way, plus the young talents that he bring to the team, he matches very good, and he managed to, as I say, to bring his style in the team the way that he was working before, and he managed to put it to transfer now to this team that he's leading now.
No, would you say it's a dangerous time to be playing Chelsea? After the defeat against Everton, there's going to be a reaction. There's a lot of expectation on Chelsea that they're genuine title contenders with the money that's been spent. These players have been infiltrated and they've hit the floor running. So is this a dangerous time? Because we're expecting a big reaction, a game against Everton that they're expected to go there and win, but they lost 1-0.
Yeah, I believe. Okay, always Chelsea is a very strong side, and especially in these moments, they have to show their value, and we can expect a really, really strong side today. And of course, with all the investment that they had this year, plus the quality of the players that they have, plus the big club that Chelsea is, everything together, it will be for sure a very, very, very strong reaction.
Nuno, we had Abel Xavier on the other week, and we put the question to him that despite his links to Liverpool, that he was actually going to be a Wolves fan from now on because we have so many Portuguese players. Surely everybody in Portugal loves Wolves. So I'm going to put the same thing to you. Despite your Chelsea links, surely it's all about Wolves for you, yeah?
Yes, of course. Okay, I have my love with Chelsea because I really enjoy the time that I was there. But from the other side, and as a Portuguese, we all feel very proud that we have a team full of Portuguese players and coaches, and they are doing well. So from us, that we see from outside and overseas, we really admire and we want to see them succeed. And it's as I say, we feel very, very proud for them. And it's always we see as a Portuguese team in England. It's our team there.
What's that? Of course, you're part of the Wolves family now with Mick and TC. How are they getting on over there?
Okay, they came in a very difficult situation now with the pandemic going around, and it's always difficult. The team it's not in its best moment, but I believe that we can make good things. And from my side has been a really good experience, and I hope that we can go back to victories and to succeed in the future.
Chris Iwelumo, have you got any tips for Nuno on how to deal with Mick in the changing room?
Just always be honest with him. You know, he can see through it when you're not, but you're always going to get honesty from him. So I think he always wants you to express yourself, be honest in your opinion and way that you want to play football, and you have that debate. I think that's something that Mick McCarthy was always very welcoming. You know, if I had an opinion, I'd put it to him, and then he'd shoot me down with the experience that he had. But you know, it's just he's one of the best out there, a proper genuine man.
Yes, it's true, exactly that. He loves honest people, and that is the most important. You know, it's not easy in this life that we are involved. So most important is to be really, really honest and says the truth always. So thank you very much.
All the best. Good luck.
Can he speak any Greek yet? Have you taught him anything?
I think no.
Probably a few swear words.
It's not so easy. I'm here for 14 years, and only after 8 years I start to speak something. So it's not really easy.
Well, send him our very best, and thank you very much for joining us tonight, Nuno Moraes.
Thank you very much. I wish you all the best for tonight.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Have a good.
You too. Enjoy. Bye.
Thank you, Nuno Moraes, former Chelsea man, now at Apoel Nicosia in Cyprus with Mick McCarthy and Terry Connor. I bet that is an experience and a half being out there. Let's get back to our chat about midfielders, Tomo. Leander Dendoncker, let's pay a little bit of tribute because it was actually a Chelsea game here 2 years ago where we kind of first saw him come on in midfield. We'd only really seen him in dribs and drabs as a defender before then. And that 2-1 win over Chelsea that felt like a huge turning point in the season, I think it was against Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I think, where he really chased him down and got a tackle in, and everyone kind of thought, oh, hang on a minute, maybe he can be a midfielder here.
Yeah, so we've seen the importance of what he is to this team this year and the way that he plays in that central position, getting up and down, getting opportunities in front of goal. We saw it at the weekend. Unfortunately, he didn't put it away. But, yeah, so you just watch him. He just tries to cover absolutely everything. And he gives us that physical presence in that midfield area as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why he plays a lot of games as well. But he's a quality player. He's a quality player that's improving. He signed the new contract, which is going to give him a big boost as well. But look, we've spoke about him time and time again about what he offers to this team and the qualities that he's got. And look, I'm sure that he probably is one of the first on the team sheet when the manager's picking his sides nowadays. So I'm sure that he's going to be here for a few years to come.
It's a weird one, isn't it, Looms, that he only actually started a Premier League game, I think, was against Tottenham over the Christmas period of that first season. It took an awful long time for him to settle, and yet now, arguably, as Tomo suggests, he might even be ahead of Neves and Moutinho as a starter right now.
Well, I've got to say I think he is, because he does it all, doesn't he? He's box to box. He's got that engine. I think he's an intelligent footballer. I think tonight I'm expecting him to, he has got to sit in beside Neves and protect that back three, more often than not. But he has got that engine that when we do break with the quality that we've got, I think he'll got there and he'll be the one that's just arriving at the box at the right time. Because you look at the chances that he's got, he should
have two great ones on Saturday.
But it's the same kind of chances that he's getting. That he's arriving at the right time because he knows the service is going to be coming into the box, and that's something that he needs to be bringing more goals. Alex said that's a quality that he's nicking a goal here and there. He's getting an opportunity game in, game out. He's getting these, so that needs to be a consistent thing. For me, the formation tonight it's a formation that we know. I think Neves more often than not. I don't think Neves he will just be sitting in front of the three, and Dendoncker will be the one that's going all the time. It's an interesting one, but again, he signed a new contract. That brings confidence. He's at home here. You can see that. The way that he speaks, he's very articulate. He's a very intelligent guy. He studies the game, and that's why he's improved, because he's looking at his weaknesses. He's thinking, what do I bring? What's my weakness? What's my weaknesses? How can I improve them? And like you say, it did take time, because the Premier League's like no other league in the world. The energy, how competitive it is. You have to make sure. But the thing is, with Chelsea have signed a lot of players that have hit the floor running, players that are new to the Premier League, for the very fact it's the style of player that they are. But Dendoncker, for me, he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. I've got to agree with Tomo with that.
Well, let's talk about Chelsea and the players they brought in, because Alex Rae, you were with us for that game, final game of the Premier League season back at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea were good then.
Yeah. And
they have improved even more so. They spent a lot of money, but they seem at the minute to have actually got some decent value for the money they've spent.
Yeah, I really do like the boy Havertz. I've seen him a couple of times last year for Bayer Leverkusen. I thought he was exceptional. He's just such a talented boy, and it took him a little bit of time to settle in because of the price tag. You've got Timo Werner as well, who's prolific. When I look at these two guys, the two guys through the middle, Giroud, 12 goals already, 8 in his last 8. So you're looking at guys that are kind of on the front foot. one of the key things is because of you need to stop the deliveries coming into the box, because we've got the two sitting midfielders. I agree with the guys as well in terms of Wolves. Then Donker has to pick and choose his runs. He can't vacate that midfield because the pace that they bring and the turnover of possession, you don't want to leave Neves exposed. So it's important that he actually holds fire. They try and get plenty width through their fullbacks, and Havertz and on the other side, Mason Mount trying to get the balls. Tomo will know this with being a fullback is their jobs tonight, Semedo and Mark Allen on the other side, they need to stop the deliveries coming into the box, because if you get balls coming into the box, Giroud early and Timo Werner on the deck. So it's important to stop that service coming down the flanks when you can, confront them early doors and stop the ball coming into the box.
Because that's an interesting thing in the midfield battle, isn't it, Alex? On the fact that, they've moved Havertz back into the midfield today to bring in Pulisic up top. So if you're looking at that, I mean, you've got N'Golo Kante, who the old gag when he was at Leicester was that there used to be two of him either side of Danny Drinkwater to get around the thing. But, Havertz and Mount, they are very attacking midfielders. So if Wolves midfield two can really get to grips with it, win the ball early and up the field, then Chelsea might have committed a lot of men forwards.
See, for me, this Frank's gone very offensive tonight. He's put a lot of offensive players in here, and because of that, it might actually disrupt Chelsea in some ways, because they're just throwing all these quality players forward. And when you look at the actual structure of Wolves, as long as they play to their normal strengths, so they're very resolute and very dogged. Again, stop the services, be compact in the middle of the park, and don't allow them to pick little pockets in between the lines. And if they keep their structure, then I feel as if Chelsea will just throw all this caution to the wind. But it's fascinating. You've got so much quality on the Chelsea ranks. But again, for me, it's how well we manage to keep the ball. If we can retain the ball up front, it'll allow us a little bit of breathing space, because the one thing you don't want to be is you don't want to be overwhelmed early doors, because you've got all these technically gifted players middle to front.
On that, Alex, I think we know that Chelsea are going to have more of the ball tonight. So do you not think it's like that's when we are most dangerous, than when they are bombing forward, when they're on the front foot, then all of a sudden they're leaving spaces in behind. Like we've got Podence, we've got Neto, we've got Silva, that, like you said, that we can bounce it off of. So like you say, it's all about the service. If we can get Neves and Cody on the ball that can open those holes behind James and Chilwell, then that's our game, isn't it? So if we light them on, we've got the players that can distribute the ball exactly where we want it, and we've got the pace in the team in both flanks. But the thing is, it's about when that ball comes in, it's about who's going to attack it, who's going to win it. You've got Kurt Zouma in there, who's an absolute animal of a man. Thiago Silva, who again, but it's true, isn't it? So you're thinking about.
No, I'm laughing at you, Big, and I love that term. Oh, he's an animal of a man.
Yeah, because it's just complete brute strength, isn't it? But I used to love playing against centre backs like that. It was the little centre backs that would just go like that, boom, push away. You couldn't feel them. They take it on his chest. The ballers that I struggled with. So I just feel that we're gonna get into positions tonight in wide areas. We know that the service is going to be there, and it might be what you look at what the old Arsenal used to do. They never used to just put in a blind cross. They used to pick people out if it was fired across, and that's maybe the kind of service that that Fabio Silva wants, and that's something that we've got to look at. Fabio Silva's got to say to likes a Podence and Neto, right? You know what? I'm going to go near. I'm then going to fire it across, and he's got that quality with the feet that he can ask some questions.
Well, I want to get a slightly different view on the tactical element of tonight. We can welcome our next guest on to Matchday Live Extra. A big welcome to Wolves TV, to the former Wolves captain, Sam Ricketts. Good to have you with us, my friend, this evening. Sam, we're just talking tactics. You've managed a team against this Wolves side a couple of seasons ago. We've gone back from 4 at the back to the 3/5. How effective do you think that 5 at the back has been? You played against it.
Firstly, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I think the 5 at the back is actually it's hard to break down. Basically, you can see Wolves over the years since Nuno's come in. They've been a hard team to break down. They don't give a lot of chances away. They haven't scored a huge amount of goals as well. I think historically they've had 3 forwards: Jota, Jimenez, Cavalier in his first year. And such players who have scored all the goals, and that's what 5 at the back means. Unless you've got real good forwards it does prove hard to score against. They're hard to break down. They're very, very methodical in their movements. They're an easy team to read and understand what they're going to do. Not easy to stop, but you can understand what they're going to do with that 3 at the back, 5 at the back.
Sam, on that then, as from a manager's point of view, you're seeing the success that it brings and how hard it is to break down. Why do you think then is Nuno flirting with the 4 at the back?
Because ultimately, I think people get it gets a bit stale. The 3 at the back, he's done it now for 3 years. It gets a bit stale. The goals do dry up. Trying to score more goals. Ultimately, I went through the similar sort of process where I was 3 at the back, hard to beat, but then it isn't particularly always entertaining to watch. You need to score more goals. More goals you score, the more points you'll get, predominantly. So I think even he's flirted with that as much. It's been a huge success for Wolves, and he's trying to take Wolves onto that next level. Can they press a bit higher? Can they be more energetic? And I'm probably trying to fit Troy Oré in the team as much as anything. He had a great link up with Matt Doherty last year. Not quite got the same link up this year. But I think that's basically it. It just comes a bit stale, trying to refresh everything and trying to take them on to new levels.
And which would you prefer to have played in? Because we look at Connor Cody. We had Paul Merson on the other week, Sam, and he was talking about Connor being probably the best in the country at that particular role, the role that we effectively refer to as the Connor Cody role, and then trying to adapt into a back 4. Do you think he'll be more comfortable having that extra protection in around him?
Undoubtedly. For me, Codes has made the position his own, like you're saying. And if Wolves are playing the back 3, if England are playing back 3, I can see Codes playing in the middle of it, all the time. In a back 4, with all due respect, Connor's not a centre half. And if he was playing centre half, if Big Chris was up against him, I'd say play the ball into Big Chris, play on Cody all night, because he'll beat him in the air, he'll beat him physically. Because in the back 3, Cody's there, he's the old-fashioned sweeper, sweeps everything up behind everyone else, doesn't really get in physical battles, leaves that to Willy Bolly on one side, and just mops everything up, uses his midfield ball-playing attributes to get Wolves playing, and he drops so deep in the middle of a 3. You can't really do that as a 2. So he is real suited to a 3, undoubtedly, and it certainly brings the best out of him.
What are we expecting then? Tomo, I'll kind of come to you first on this, because we've spent an awful long time building up Chelsea as well tonight. Wolves, not
too much.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. And you look at it this evening, and I don't know. It's difficult without a crowd, but I could sense from even kind of people coming in and stewards asking us kind of, what do you think tonight? There is some pressure there to see Wolves kind of show the glimpses that they are bouncing back.
Yeah, of course. I think he's gone to the reliable back 3, hasn't he, for this evening's game. Also because of the quality of the opposition as well. So, as we've talked on about the quality that they've got going forward. Look, Connor Cody's the number 1 for me in that sweeper role in the country, the way that he plays, as Merson mentioned. He got his reward with playing for England in that position, was outstanding for that as well. And I just think that it might give him a little bit more of a time on the ball as well, Connor Cody, to be able to pick that pass. And we know, and we spoke about Chelsea to put in the press in against Wolves. I think that it just gives him that little bit of time that he can pick that pass and hopefully break out of the press. Because if we do, we've got the pace and the quality up front that we can get people away. But it's all about the quality up to the front, lads. For me, I think that you've got to make sure you give him a chance, either to the feet or, again, to Fabio Silva's chest, that we need to make sure the quality is good. Don't just keep kicking it up there and hoping that they're going to get hold of it. We've got to have quality going up. And I think they've gone back to that 3 because of that. I think give Connor Cody a little bit more time and probably to go against the press of Chelsea as well.
Alex Rae, what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I agree with what Tom was actually saying there. I think if you are you're going to get any sustained pressure, sustained control of the game, you actually have to be brave. You've got to try and play the passes. You've got to take it in tight areas. Otherwise, as Tomo says, if you start playing longer balls, then you're in trouble because you don't have the personnel there. So it has to be quality into these guys. So again, it's about trying to kind of get it through the middle of the park as well. Neves try to get on the ball. But I'll be fascinated to see how they play, because if I'm Chelsea, I'm saying press high, because they'll try and play out.
Yeah, but Alex, you know that no matter how good a team is and how good a team's press is, if a team can play through it, they have to then respect it and drop back. So like you say, I think bravery does come into it. I think getting the ball down, I think the likes of Dendonka and Neves are so important that they find those little pockets that when a good press is. But you've got, the thing is, in goal, Kanté in there does the job of two men. We've got to capitalise on that. We've got to make sure that we can stretch him, make him try, and he does it. He's got the energy, he can get all over the place. But we've got to try and make sure that we're brave enough to play through a press. And even when they all press, and it's like Chilwell or Reece James that are bombing forward, we've got the likes of Connor Cody, like Sam's just said, he drops really deep. We've got to give him as much time on the ball as we can, because with the range of passing, I think he can hurt him. I think we can open down both sides, the likes of Neto and Pedence, the quality, but it has to stick. But we still have to play. We have to be brave enough under a high press to get it down. If we start playing long ball stuff, we've already said it. Kurt Zuma and Thiago Silva's going to eat Fabio Silva alive, isn't he? So we've got to make sure that the quality from back to front is very, very good.
So Sam, the message is be brave.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the way line up, I think with the ball, there'll be a 3-4-3 trying to be, but don't be surprised. There'll be a 5-4-1 without the ball and say, go on then, try and get through us and play on the break. So as much as we're talking about building up, I can see Chelsea having the majority of the ball and Wolves trying to hit them on the break. Nuno has a saying, very little I know and been around him, is that as soon as you get beat, he says it's like getting cut, stick a bandage on it. Well, he's been cut twice now. That bandage is getting thicker and thicker on it. Stop the bleeding. Stop that bleeding. That's what tonight is about. Be hard to break down and try and catch them on the break.
Right, it is prediction time, boys. Sam, I am the best at these predictions. These guys are absolutely awful at it. You can go first and have the honour. What are you reckoning tonight?
I'd say if Wolves can come out of here with a 1-1 draw, it'll be a real good draw tonight. A very good draw.
Okay, 1-1 from Sam Ricketts. Alex Rae.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wolves.
2-1.
That
was mine. 2-1. I'm going.
I stop it, Tomo. You're only copying me.
I'll go for that one. A victory for us.
Come on, Loomsy.
I think it's just about stopping the rut. I think 2 defeats on the bounce, and like you say, I think Nuno would take a point tonight. I know it's one of them. I've got to agree with Sam. 1-1.
Okay, I am going to go as ever for 1-0 Wolves. Thank you for leaving that free for me, boys. And hopefully that will come off. Sam Ricketts, thank you very much indeed for your time. We'll see you soon on Matchday Live. Thank you very much. And more from Alex Rae and Chris Iwelumo to come at half-time. And, of course, more from Tomo in just a second. Don't go anywhere, because full match commentary is coming up of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Chelsea, absolutely free on Wolves TV.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it. I've been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those 2 games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Jodian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in for me, and even more so when after having a tough first 4 or 5 months that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, what a goal! That is simple!
simply stunning.
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
After late derby defeats of the weekend, Wolves face a Chelsea side looking to bounce back themselves. The Blues defeated Everton on Saturday, ended a 17-game unbeaten run in all competitions, and Molineux holds happy memories for them of a 5-2 win here last season. Nuno is without João Moutinho, who serves a one-game suspension for his sending off against Villa. So Ruben Neves comes in for his 150th appearance in Old Gold. There's also a return to the starting lineup for Willy Boly as Wolves revert back to a more familiar back 3/5. Rui Patricio in goal. Boly, Cody, Saiz the back three. Semedo and Marçal the wing backs. Dendoncker and Neves in midfield. Pedro Neto, Fabio Silva and Daniel Podence up top. For Chelsea, they have Edouard Mendy in goal, Reece James, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell the back four. Kai Havertz moves back into midfield alongside N'Golo Kante and Mason Mount. Christian Pulisic coming in to partner Olivier Giroud and Timo Werner up top. On the respective benches, Ruddy, Hoover, Aït-Nouri, Vitinha, Traore, Kilman and Otazawi. Kepa, Rudiger, Jorginho, Abraham, Kovacic, Gilmore and Azpilicueta. Chelsea in blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks are getting ready to get us going, with Wolves in the gold shirts with black sleeves, black shorts and gold socks. And we are nearly ready to go. The countdown is on. And the players will take a knee before we get underway here at Molineux this evening. Up and running at Molineux. And hopefully Wolves can get themselves back up and running in terms of their Premier League season. Just the one win in the last 5, though. Some big strokes of misfortune in that time. 2 goalkeepers getting man of the match awards in those games too. They won't be making any excuses inside the camp. It'll be up to those 11 selected tonight, Andy Thompson, to produce something special, as we know they can.
Yeah, it is. As I mentioned, touched on before, so I think this is a very good Chelsea squad. And so they've got quality throughout it. But again, I think that we've just got to make sure we believe in what we're doing, and I think we will. I think that the way that we play was unfortunate at the weekend, but it just shows you can't afford to keep missing chances. You've got to take opportunities in this league because it'll come back and bite you in the backside kind of thing. So, look, it's one of those things that we need to make sure that we're a little bit more clinical.
Stuart Atwell is the man in the middle this evening. The last time he took charge of a Wolves game was that 2-0 defeat at Stamford Bridge at the end of last season, where there was a, shall we say, dubious free kick.
Yeah, on the edge of the box,
that led to one of the Chelsea goals.
Yeah, we had a good look at that and we didn't agree, did we?
Not that we would ever really agree, or you would ever agree.
He's got a point.
Neto being held, looks like, by Zouma on the halfway line. Stuart Atwell happy enough with it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The quality up to the front man, it's got to be good. Give him some kind of chance just to allow us to get up the field, because it's going to be difficult if we're just chasing and the ball just keeps coming back. And it doesn't matter how many times you keep defending, and we are good at defending long spells. Sooner or later, something's going to happen, and that's what you've got to try and do. You've got to try and get hold of that ball.
Well, already in the first 2 minutes, it's been pretty much all Chelsea passing it around along the halfway line. Fabio Silva trying to put up pressure on Thiago Silva, forcing the mistake. Marçal down the line. Neto will give chase, and he's got the pace to get there ahead of Thiago Silva. Only Fabio Silva in the penalty area for the time being, and the cross was blocked. Marçal trying to get to the loose ball first, does so. Plays it infield to Neto. Now to Ruben Neves, trying to switch the play across to Willy Boly. Out to the right-hand side to Semedo. Time to get the ball under control and being shown infield, but Looking to find Dendoncker, backwards to Willy Bolly. And Wolves will try and build as it comes to Connor Cody to the right of the centre circle. A little short pass to Bolly, a couple of yards short of halfway. Back to Connor Cody again. He'll switch it high towards Saiz, who collects on the chest and plays into the feet of Neto, who flicked it towards Marçal, who did well to control and play it backwards to Neves. Eventually finds Cody at the base of the centre circle, whips a nice ball out to Nelson Semedo, into the midway point of the Chelsea half. Good footwork by Semedo to beat one. Dendoncker, Semedo's continued his run and he has a little strike at goal. And there was a deflection on it, and it will be the first Wolves corner of the game after only 3 minutes.
Well, you're talking about 3 minutes already. Connor Cody just finding his range of passes, hasn't he? I think he must have done half a dozen already, where they've been bang on the mark there. And already you saw Semedo a little bit more comfortable in that wing-back position, being able to get inside and playing a little 1-2 and getting that shot away. But already you can see the time and space that Connor Cody's got to break that press from Chelsea.
Neto's corner, left-footed from the left-hand side, looking to whip it high towards the far post, and Saiz got his head to it. And it goes behind for a goal kick. It was a long way wide of the right-hand post of Edouard Mendy.
Yeah, he was. So look, he was challenged by a Chelsea defender, couldn't really get anything on it or direct it towards the goal. But again, say it's promising start from Wolves, just looking to be able to spread that ball around. But just got to be so careful. You can see that they're just playing Giroud up front in that central position. And 3 out there. I think it's Mount out there on the left-hand side and Werner on this right.
Pulisic is one of the forward players. Mount just a little bit deeper behind him. He was more advanced at that moment as James plays it back to Zuma, midway inside his own half. Socks pulled over his knees. Gets it back from Mendy, who was out playing as a sweeper there, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Reece James, England international, launches forwards. Pulisic won it in the air ahead of Bolly, but it goes all the way through to Patricio. Paul Clifford says, looking for us to get the edge tonight and the ball to run for us. Come on, you Wolves. Robin Calgary, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff for him. Says, not confident today, but the dog on the couch says we're going to win 1-0, so I'll go with that.
There you go, then.
I mean, forget the game. It sounds like you've got a magic
I was
magic
going to
dog
say,
there.
great dog. Let's just tell us the breed.
There's Connor Cody, deep inside his own half, trying to find the feet of Neto, who dropped deep. Back to Saiz, in towards Podence, who got a flick on it. I think that came off Reece James. It did. It will be a Wolves throw.
But I'm just saying that we look so comfortable in this formation. You're seeing players coming off from the defenders, pulling across, movement, and they just look like they're a lot more confident in the way that we're playing.
Marçal throwing down the line for Neto. Across came Zuma, nodded the ball out of play. Wolves working their way closer towards the Chelsea goal after 6 minutes played, just under at Molineux. Another throw down the line towards Neto. Zuma and Reece James around him. Neto managed to dig out a low cross, blocked by N'Golo Kante. Cleared up towards Giroud. Cody, though, stepping in and winning it. And Connor Cody, it might open out for a strike from distance. It did, and it went a long way wide of the right-hand post as you look towards goal.
Yeah, I think that was a nosebleed moment, wasn't it? Did so well to get it just in front of Giroud in coming over the halfway line, but space opened up for him. He had an effort. And look, it's great to see. We talk about his range of passing and the accuracy of it. His shooting wasn't the same, was it?
969 days as the count goes on since his last Wolves goal. Did joke with him when we were out in Germany. I'll come back to it. Reece James has possession for Chelsea, lifting it into the danger zone. Patricio came out and caught the ball, but collided with Willy Bolly.
Yeah. It's brave play by both, isn't it? Say Bolly just making sure that he gets something on it. It was a decent ball in from James. But Patricio coming through to catch the ball. He seems all right. He's got himself back up.
Just almost Patricio pushing the ball into the face of Willy Bolly as he landed. Managed to get to grips with it. Bolly is okay. I say, joked with Connor Cody when we were out in Germany for the Europa League that at some point he will get what we call the Vincent Kompany moment when he scored that famous goal.
Oh, yes.
For Man City against Leicester.
The shot from outside the box, the goal.
I think we've got the statos trying to work out when was the last time he actually had a shot. He was close at Liverpool, just taken off his toes. I can't think of many other shots that he's had in the last couple of years. There's Romain Saiz to Ruben Neves. Back to Connor Cody. Trying a long one this time. Dendoncker had made a run, but it will go all the way through to Edouard Mendy. It's been 89 league appearances since Connor Cody last scored a goal. 117 in all competitions.
That's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. It's about time he scored then now, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say he's due.
Chilwell goal.
Down the left-hand side for Chelsea. Pulisic. N'Golo Kante looking to try and switch the play from left to right, out to Reece James, midway inside the Wolves half. A 1-2 with Werner. Back to N'Golo Kante to Zuma. Forced him a little bit further back in his own half than he wanted. Neto was closing in. Edouard Mendy in possession. High ball out to the left-hand side. Chilwell to bring it up towards the halfway line. Down the line for Pulisic. We're closed down by Semedo. Ball goes all the way back to Thiago Silva. Under pressure from Fabio Silva. Zuma to James on the halfway line. Chelsea right. Wolves playing from right to left as we look at it first half. Defending these to Jack Hayward, South Bank. Attacking the Stan Cullis, North Bank. It's Giroud, just left-hand side of the penalty area. Support from Pulisic. Right-footed cross, headed away by Cody from just outside the 6-yard box. Fabio Silva got to the loose ball. He almost received a pass from Podence. Thiago Silva read the danger.
Yeah, and that's what they've got to try and do. They've got to try and maintain that possession, haven't they? Because we know that Chelsea are going to have a lot of possession the way that they play. Just bide your time. It's all about being organised, which they are, and making sure you make it count when you get the ball.
Giroud to Chilwell. Down the left-hand side for Chelsea to Pulisic. On to Giroud, who'd continued his run to the byline left-hand side of the box. Patricio able to claim the ball, lowered his near post.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough one. He was just stretching for him, wasn't he? To get to the ball with the pace on it.
Marçal, lovely ball down the left-hand channel for the run of Pedro Neto, who was in behind Reece James for a moment. Now needing support, gets it from Neves midway inside the half. Swept out to the right-hand side for Semedo. He's not got too many options, having to go backwards to Bolly, who leaves it for Neves to take over. Podence has come short, and Podence spotted the early run of Semedo, but a bit too much curl on that pass and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, so he saw the pass, was just unfortunate. He just couldn't execute it, wasn't he? But again, so there's some decent movement in front of him. It's nice to see that there is options, there is opportunities for him to get that ball forward. And that's what they've got to keep doing, because they'll keep testing Chelsea.
11 minutes played at Molineux this evening. Ball is with Thiago Silva, just to the left of the centre circle, just inside his own half. A little short 10-yard pass finds Kante. Out to the left-hand side again for Pulisic, being shown infield by Semedo. Support from Chilwell. Wide to Mount. A switch pass in towards Werner. Sai's got a touch to it. And a hefty challenge by Dendoncker, too hefty. Olivier Giroud draws a free kick for Chelsea. About 30 yards out, just to the left of centre.
Yeah, he's just got himself just in front of it then, hasn't he? Giroud. But again, I say they're going to have to be patient, Wolves, just when they haven't got the ball, because you know the movement's going to be good from Chelsea. But it's a situation like this where you've got to make sure that we're picking up.
Wolves with what looks like a two-man wall, just a couple of yards outside the penalty area. The rest of the defenders in a line on the edge of the box. Reece James running away from it. Chilwell left-footed, hanging it high to the far post. Sai's climbed highest with the first header away. Neves with the second. Fabio Silva with a quite clever ball, actually, out to the left-hand side to Marçal. Has support infield from Neves, turning away from Giroud. And then finding Connor Cody, who can sweep it low out to Semedo. Low over the halfway line to Neto goes the ball. Back infield to Dendoncker, Neto to Bolly. And now to Connor Cody.
Yeah, I like what they're doing at the moment as well, because they're restricting Chelsea fullbacks from getting up and supporting that front line, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to try and get pressure on them early. Stop Reece and Chilwell.
Neves to Bedent. Marcel, there's 3 Chelsea players around them, so the ball went back to Saiz. Cody turning and switching it out to Semedo. Range is absolutely spot on at the minute. Wolves are going to throw on halfway.
It is. So look, I don't think he's missed one yet, has he? With his passing. And we spoke about it the other day about that if you just play the 2, it just restricts his time and space on the ball. He's got plenty of that this evening.
Semedo getting another throw on the right-hand side. Further inside the Chelsea half. Pedence's pass back to him this time was too heavy. It'll be a Chelsea throw. If you use the hashtag Wolves Live if you want to get in touch and have your say. Give us your thoughts and predictions on what you're hearing and seeing. Neves nods the ball down to Bolly, midway inside the Wolves half. Route backwards to Cody was blocked off that time, so he found Neves, Dendoncker, Semedo. Passed it straight to Kai Havertz. And then blocks Chilwell's attempted ball forwards. Another Chelsea throw. N'Golo Kante to Chilwell. Pedence trying to snap away at him. Here come Chelsea down their left-hand side, though, and Bolly has been beaten for the moment. Dangerous ball whipped in. Werner tried to get something on it. It'll come through to Havertz onto his right foot, blocked by Marcel and behind for a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, Pulisic, you're just watching the pace of him down that left-hand side, aren't you? So he's very, very quick. He's just gone on the outside of Bolly. He was able to get that cross into the area. But so decent defending from Wolves. Marcel just getting that block on Havertz.
Everybody back to defend the set piece. Chelsea have brought Zuma and Thiago Silva forwards. Mason Mount with the corner, right-footed from the right-hand side. Lifted high, hanging delivery. Thiago Silva back into the danger zone. Bolly with an important header there. And now Pedence trying to carry the ball at speed, racing up towards the halfway line. And he tried to switch it to Neto. A little deflection might send it towards Fabio Silva. Unfortunately, N'Golo Kante got there first on the edge of the box, and Chelsea get the ball out of play for a throw.
Yeah, there's a great break from Wolves there. Pedence just unfortunately just couldn't pick that pass out for Neto. I was just watching from that corner as well. I think it was Chilwell, and I think the referee's actually talking to him, holding Bolly, restricting him from going to close the ball down and just blocking him off.
Semedo on the right-hand side for Wolves. Early cross, headed away by N'Golo Kante. Neto back to Neves, midway inside the half, looking to loop it to the far post and calmly chested back to the keeper by Reece James. Rolled out quickly to Havertz, who looks to try and drive it up towards halfway, the big tall midfielder. Werner back to James. Switches it on the halfway line out to Chilwell. Wide for Pulisic, looking to run at Semedo. Cuts back in field, flicked forwards by Chilwell. Bolly with the header away. Neves up to Fabio Silva. Foot in by Zuma, though. Wins possession back for Chelsea. Reece James. Switching to the left-hand side for Mason Mount. 30 yards from the Wolves' goal. To Pulisic. Wide for Chilwell. Allowed one touch and then a low cross into the near post, away by Bolly. And out of play for a throw.
That's where the ball's got to stick, hasn't it? Fabio Silva, he's holding his arms out to the referee, but there's no foul there. Now, Zuma's a big lad there who's going to come through everything that he makes sure to get a touch on it. Just got to try and lay it off a little bit. Don't fight with him. Just link up with somebody else.
17 minutes played at Molineux. N'Golo Kante back wide for Chilwell. He's got a foot in and they will get a throw and a chance to try and move downfield. Sam says lockdown in South Korea has its advantages, means the 3 a.m. start here doesn't have to be followed by a heavily coffee-fueled working day. 1-0 smash and grab for Wolves after Silva's first Wolves goal. Come on me babbies, that's his prediction. Chelsea throw on their left-hand side. Chilwell will take about 10 yards inside the Wolves half. Possession in Chelsea's favour at the moment, 57-43.
So they've done all right so far, haven't they? So they've, again, so we know that Chelsea's going to come and have a little bit more possession, but I think the Wolves have done okay. A couple of times they could have kept retained possession, but give it away.
James to Kante, switched high to the Chelsea left. Mason Mount trying to drive forwards. Wide for Pulisic, up against Semedo again. Mount had continued his run, but his cross was blocked by Dendoncker, who stayed with him all the way.
Yeah, good tracking, wasn't it? So lucky, and that's what he's got to do. If Mason Mount's coming from that deep position, he's got to make sure that he's sticking with him.
Chilwell's throw, 10 yards from the left-hand corner flag. Kante flicking the ball in field. Mount playing it backwards to Thiago Silva. Kante to Zuma. Zuma lining up a shot from a long way out, and it hit Cody on the edge of the box and rebounds out to Werner on the Chelsea right. To N'Golo Kante, who sweeps across in first time. Good header by Semedo. Comes out to Mason Mount, left-hand side of the penalty area. Again lifts his cross to the far post and headed behind by Marçal with Havertz closing in. Another Chelsea corner with 19 minutes played.
Yeah, it was. It sounded like a good spell for Chelsea, but a great shot by Zuma. So there was some pace in the shot. Conor Coady did well just to be able to get some kind of block on it.
Again, everybody back to defend.
Again, they've put somebody on volley just to try and block him off from coming out to the lads on the edge of the box, because that's where Chelsea have got their players.
Chilwell to take left-footed from the right-hand side this time. Mason Mount stood in front of Bolly. Others waiting to run from deep as Chilwell whips it into the danger zone. He was headed over the top by Giroud.
Oh.
8 yards out, fairly central. He got a good connection to it. And the Chelsea striker clearly feels like he should have scored.
Yeah, well, it's a let-off for him. For Wolves, sorry. So he had a good opportunity. He's got above everybody else. It was just the direction, and unfortunately, just went over for Wolves.
I think maybe a touch fortunate that he was just beginning to come down as he made the connection. He'd already reached the peak of his jump. It's a warning sign of the threat that Chelsea will provide tonight. As Patricio kicks downfield, Dendoncker with the flick on. Neto was challenging with Zuma. Dendoncker with a second header forwards. Kante there first. Chilwell into the feet of Giroud. Holding off Bolly. Now here comes Saiz. To Cody, to Saiz.
Oh, great ball.
Switched out to Semedo over the halfway line, space in front of him, able to try and take the ball forwards. Podence waiting for some support to arrive, has it infield from Neves. Across for Romain Saiz, out to the left-hand side to Marçal. Now here's Romain Saiz to Ruben Neves. Back to Conor Coady, base of the centre circle. Ruben Neves again, swept out towards Marçal. Marçal just being held up by Reece James and forced backwards. Plays it infield to Neves, though, who again is allowed to turn and has just played an unbelievable pass out to Semedo on the right-hand side. Unbelievable hit. And Semedo back to Neves again, who's growing into the game. Podence on the turn to Fabio Silva with the flick. Neto on the volley. It was not a bad effort at all. And it needed to be helped on its way for a Wolves corner.
Yeah, some good play, Salah, good play. So great ball from Neves, wasn't it, to Semedo? But again, it's that interlinking change where we just got Silva, who's just coming off the player, just linking it up, and it just sat up nice for Neto, who released the shot away and got Mendy down to his right-hand side.
Might have been just heading wide. Mendy wasn't to know that. Corner's taken short to Marçal, who whips it in. Headed by Havertz, back into the danger zone, away by Giroud. Semedo trying to put it back towards the edge of the box. Zuma with a header away. Neves might fancy an effort from distance. He did, but it's comfortably saved by Edouard Mendy.
Yeah, so look, never really had a little bit of sting on it, did it? So it looked quite nice for the keeper to catch. But again, positive thing, him having an effort to goal. Counts as being on target.
Saying it's been a while since Ruben Neves has been on the score sheet, but everyone has plenty of special memories of some of the classic goals that he scored in his 150 Wolves appearances.
Yeah.
Here comes Neto on the charge for Wolves down the left-hand side. Strong run from him. Cross took a bit of a deflection. Fabio Silva tried to get it under control, just got away from him, and Kante was able to clear. Chilwell being forced backwards. Podence has stolen the ball from him on the touchline. Kante across. Podence trying to keep it in, but it'll roll along the goal line to Mendy.
Yeah, he did really well, didn't he, Podence? But he had nowhere to go. He had nowhere to go with it. Kante was right next to him. He's right on the touchline.
Reece James switching the play. Just gone past the halfway mark of the first half, and Wolves having a bright spell in the last couple of minutes. Back on the defensive now, though, as Chilwell whips in. Cody got an important header to it to clear. Throwing himself at the ball. Giroud just couldn't quite reach it. Pulisic on the left-hand side again, away from Dendoncker. Up towards Semedo and the byline. Continuing on his charge. Cody again well positioned to get the ball away from goal, but not fully away. Chilwell on the left again. Another dangerous cross. Patricio punches it away this time. And Podence trying to hold on to possession under pressure from Kante.
Oh, he did really well, didn't he? Did really well. Podence had a great little bit of skill. Just dinked it over, kept possession of it. Oh. He's just talking about fine margins there. So, like, you just saw Neto just miss the ball. And unfortunately, just didn't run to Neves either. And he could have just been able to get that into Neto just running on the overlap.
James back to Kurt Zuma, just inside his own half. 25 minutes played at Molineux. Here comes Chilwell down the left-hand side. Wide for Pulisic again. In towards Mason Mount, left-hand side of the penalty area. Bolly blocked the first cross, and Semedo with a foot in and playing it out of play. All sorts of issues going on here as Tomo has broken his TV in front of him.
Not touched it, not touched it.
Unbelievable from you. That's coming off your wages.
Oh, you get paid for this as well?
Not made of TVs, you know. There's Thiago Silva. Neto thought he could steal it. Zuma just got there first and managed to flay the ball out to Chilwell on the left-hand side. Infield to Pulisic. Scooped into the penalty area for the run of Mount. Bolly is with him all the way.
Yeah, it's gone out.
It's gone behind for a goal kick.
I do think that we look a little bit more settled in this formation, don't we? I think that we look like we know what we're doing down to a T, the years that we've actually played this way. Did you break it before I come? Is that what it is?
If it turns out that it's just not switched on.
It is switched on. It's just...
It's going to be all breaking loose here. There's Marçal. Forced backwards by Reece James to Saiz, just on the edge of his own penalty area.
There you go, thank you.
Running in field. There's no excuse for someone missing anything now. You're just trying to get EastEnders on, were you?
You must be joking.
Is that the issue?
You must be joking.
Tuesday night game. You're missing Emmerdale. Is that the problem?
Emmerdale.
This time you're a big Hollyoaks fan, aren't you? That's what it is. Havertz. Back to Reece James. All our international listeners going, what are these programs you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm like that as well, so I've never heard of them.
Of course you are. Pulisic. And to drive in field, midway inside the Wolves half, blocked by Neves. Ball bounces back to halfway. Thiago Silva nodding down to Chilwell. Wide for Mason Mount this time. Chilwell had continued on his run. Just rather ran into Semedo. He slides in for a second time.
Did well, Semedo. Stopped Chilwell and then was able to win the ball after the challenge as well.
The clearance from Bolly went all the way to Thiago Silva, though his pass towards James was sold a bit short. Marçal did well to challenge on it. Here's Podence, wide to the left-hand side to Neto. Fabio Silva is calling for it. Neto up against Zuma, trying to check back onto his right foot. Cross blocked off by Zuma. And Havertz will be able to clear up to Pulisic. Back to Havertz, midway inside the half, and Chelsea will build again through Mason Mount.
Oh, that was a shame, wasn't it? It was a good opportunity, one-on-one with Zuma, Neto. I thought he was just going to go on the outside of him. Decided to try and come back and pick somebody on the edge of the box, but he just got blocked, and the ricochet went straight to a Chelsea player.
Werner to Giroud. Bolly in with a challenge. Then Donker to Cody to Neves. And Neves looking to hit an early ball. And it's another excellent one for Pedro Neto, who chases it downfield, keeps it in 10 yards from the left-hand corner flag. Support arriving from Marçal. Neves is back infield for him. Didn't just stand and watch that good pass. Finds Podence. Back to Ruben Neves. To Podence again. Looking out to the right-hand side and finding the feet of Semedo. Back to Willy Bolly on halfway. To Cody at base of the centre circle. Neves again is on the move. It's it back from Connor Cody. Now allowed to just dribble the ball forwards, and Fabio Silva on the turn will get the free kick after N'Golo Kante caught him late.
Well, the referee had a good look at it, didn't he? Stuart Atwell. He's done a little turn with the ball. It looks at him whether or not he dives or not. Oh, yeah, he's just caught him, hasn't he? Kante. Just watching it. Yeah, he just caught his standing leg, didn't he? I didn't think there was much in it, but he made sure that the referee understood that it was a touch and a foul.
Neto stood over the free kick, midway inside the Chelsea half. Bolly, Dendoncker and Saiss are all up there. It was towards Bolly, away by Zuma though. Semedo with his second touch lifts it back in, away by Havertz. Neves trying to switch the play out to Romain Saiss on the left-hand touchline. Did well to keep it in and plays it back to Podence. On to Neto, who'd made a good run, and it needed Thiago Silva to come across and block it and put it behind for a Wolves corner.
Yeah, I think some of the plans, some of the movements has been good so far. I think there's been options in front of them.
Saiss and Bolly can stay forwards in that penalty area. Neto with the corner, left-footed from the left-hand side in front of the North Bank. Both arms in the air. Plays it short to Marçal. One touch, then putting it across the edge of the penalty area to Semedo. Semedo's had a dig from distance, but he was a little bit off balance. And it went a long way over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, his first touch just didn't open it up for him properly, did it? Didn't get away from his feet a little bit better than he could have. Just watching it again, the replay. Just kind of just under his feet a little bit. And then he ended up stretching for the ball.
The initial pass was a little bit behind him, wasn't it? That if that's something that they've worked on in training, wasn't quite executed to perfection. Interesting to see them trying a few different things, though.
Look, so that's what it's all about, trying to keep the other side thinking about what they're going to do and not just be predictable about what they're going to do. And that's, again, with the change in formation, that's the kind of thing that they've done.
Giroud looking for Pulisic, who took a tumble and gets a free kick. Left-hand side, a couple of yards in from the touchline. Yeah, I'm not sure there was an awful lot in there.
No, I don't think so either. We haven't seen a replay of it. I don't think there was much. I think that Semedo's just read it. But again, opportunity, sending the lads up from the back.
Chilwell stood over the ball, left-footed, waiting to whip it in. Wolves' defensive line just inside the penalty area. 31.5 minutes played at Molineux. Still 0-0 between Wolves and Chelsea. Chilwell, left-footed, into the penalty area. Ball is bouncing around, a little bit of a scramble. Werner struck it goalwards, blocked by Semedo.
Yeah.
Podence helped it on its way, and it will be a throw.
Yeah, good defending. Good defending.
Well, Stuart Atwell has just paused things here. Are they checking something? Possible penalty, maybe. Giroud and Cody.
Well, he's got hold of
getting to grips with each other.
Well, I think he's got hold of Connor Cody there.
Trying to climb over the top of him.
No.
And the ball bouncing around back towards Cody. They're checking a possible handball.
It's Drew's on.
And we're okay to continue.
Yeah, so it was Giroud's arm that it hit.
I'm not sure it would have been given as a penalty anyway, considering
he's got hold of him anyway, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what Cody's supposed to do. His arms aren't in a particularly unnatural position anyway. We saw it at the weekend with the one that remains Saiz against Villa. The ball can just hit your arm sometimes. Not a lot you can do about it.
Well, the thing is, your arms are attached. There ain't nothing else you can do, is there? You're watching a lot of players now putting their arms behind their back, though, aren't you?
Yeah, you can't put it behind your back when you're jumping.
Well, you can't tell me that's a natural position, putting your arms behind your back when you're jumping for a ball.
There's Podence. Loses possession to Reece James. Zuma back to Mendy. 33 minutes played at Molineux this evening. 0-0. Chilwell has possession. Closed down by Dendoncker. Forced backwards, deeper into his own half. Thiago Silva. Now for Zuma. Possession still around 58% Chelsea, 42% Wolves. Wolves with more efforts on goal though. 2 on target. Chelsea yet to have 1 on target from their 4. Some debate amongst our team of whether that was Connor Cody's first ever shot in the Premier League.
It's been a long time. He don't usually come over the halfway line, does he?
We'll put it this way. One of our team who's very good on stats says it is, and another one says it isn't.
Oh. Who's not so good at stats is the one who said it isn't.
I couldn't possibly say. Although his team beat mine in our fantasy draft league over the weekend, so clearly better at picking players than I am. Kante for Thiago Silva. The left-hand side to Chilwell. Up towards halfway. Pulisic. It's Mason Mount carrying it forwards. Pulisic was wide. It goes even wider to Chilwell. This is Christian Pulisic. There's enough of a foot in there, and then Semedo trying to clear it forwards. Fabio Silva lifting it over the halfway line. Thiago Silva heading back to the keeper.
Yeah, just enough on it, wasn't it, for Mendy just to let it roll back into his penalty area.
Here comes Chilwell. Out to the left-hand side for Pulisic. Closed off by Semedo, but Stuart Atwell didn't like it. And it's a Chelsea free kick in a much more dangerous position than they've been in before.
Yeah, it is. So he's just come inside. Yeah, he's just caught his leg, hasn't he?
Is that not just a natural collision of two players stepping across each other?
Well, I was going to say, his leg's gone between his legs as such. He hasn't really kicked him, has he? And then he's tripped over his leg from where it is, but I don't know.
It feels like sometimes you just can't challenge
anymore. Well, I was just about to say that. I don't know what is a foul anymore. So, like, with the present day, so look, I don't know if it's a foul for touching or kicking or standing your ground.
Reece James and Ben Chilwell stood over the ball. England international fullbacks. Wolves have a 2-man wall. It's Chilwell left-footed, hanging high to the far post. Sai's got something on it. Thiago Silva trying to hook it over his head back into the box and out of play for a goal kick.
It's a great header by Sai, isn't it? So he does so well in both boxes in the air. Pulisic has just come out to this right-hand side now. Werner's gone out on that left-hand side. Giroud still down that middle.
Saiz back to Patricio and puts his foot through it over the top of Fabio Silva. Salah had gone chasing. Kurt Zuma across for Chilwell. Deep inside the Chelsea half. Plenty of space, though, to run it up to halfway. And over the halfway line still goes Chilwell. Now wide for Werner. And to cut infield on his right foot. Back to N'Golo Kante. Swept out towards Reece James. Had to go back a couple of steps to collect the ball. Now we'll try and cross from deep. Bolly stretching out his right foot. Fabio Silva down to Marcelo. We'll try and lift it forwards towards Fabio Silva. Yeah. Will settle for the Wolves throw.
Well, he did well there a couple of times, didn't he, Silva? Fabio Silva.
Well, he means business now as he throws his gloves off.
Gloves are off.
He's warmed up into the game.
Yeah.
There's Pedro Neto. Up to Marçal. Infield to Neves. Outside of the right boot. Just evaded Werner to find Semedo. Who can look to try and run at pace over the halfway line. Werner back with him. Infield to Neves. He's covered some ground already tonight, Ruben Neves.
Oh, another great ball from Connor Cody. Oh, that was a shame.
Marçal, little deflection on his ball for Podence. Allowed James to clear it. Neves has put it back though. Ruben Neves up towards the edge of the D, and N'Golo Kante got back to him and got a toe on the ball and sent it through the keeper. Just when his eyes were lighting up there, Ruben Neves.
Well, going in on the actual box, wasn't he? And all of a sudden, thinking that he's got a shot, get a shot away. But Kante, the player that he is, the mistake that he made, soon got the ball back.
Neves now winning possession back from Mason Mount with a good, strong challenge. And Bolly turning away from Havertz. I think Bolly was caught in the face as Havertz went through him there. He didn't like that. Big defender.
Yeah.
Saiss wide for Marçal. There's a bit of feistiness to the game now.
Good. So look a little bit of that in the game. Gives it a little bit of an edge.
Cody. 39 minutes approaching. Still 0-0 at Molineux. Neves on halfway. Low across the centre circle for Bolly. In towards the feet of Neto to Dendoncker. It was a heavy touch. Back to Bolly. Bolly forwards. Oh, they dissected both Podence and Neto, and Podence then went a little bit late on Thiago Silva, Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, just trying the press, wasn't they, Podence? Thiago Silva just got a little bit sharper on the ball, just able to get the pass away.
Werner. Ball down the line, blocked by Semedo. Bolly couldn't find Podence. It was intercepted by Havertz. N'Golo Kante for Chelsea, to Zuma in the centre circle, out to the right-hand side to Reece James. Back into his own half it goes to Zuma. Now Thiago Silva taking over. Wide to the left-hand side to Chilwell, to the midway point of the Wolves' half, still continuing to run. Infield to Mount, trying to switch the play for Pulisic. Reece James on the overlap, low cross blocked off by Marçal. And Chelsea will settle for the throw. Plenty of options in and around him. He goes short to N'Golo Kante, who's allowed to turn. 10 yards from the right-hand corner flag. Getting away from Marçal, just about. Kante turning back. Havertz, Podence snapping away at him. And between Podence and Fabio Silva, they've managed to win the ball back. And Daniel Podence with an audacious piece of trickery. But then trying to do too much, has lost it to Kante. Now here comes Pulisic on the right-hand side, looking to drive into the penalty area. Still Pulisic, turning away from Neves. In goes the challenge from Saiss, and the ball is behind, and it will be a Chelsea corner. Well, there's the good and bad from Daniel Podence. A wonderful piece of skill initially to turn away, but then maybe trying to do too much in the wrong area.
Yeah.
And Chelsea got possession back, and Ruben Neves fell awkwardly. And trying to track back there, he is okay. All of a sudden on the defensive again.
Yeah, and this is where they need to be careful. Was it Drew off the corner from this side before? He's able to get a header. Need to try and track his run.
Chilwell left-footed from the right-hand side. Referee's seen a bit of pushing he doesn't like amongst the group of players on the penalty spot. In comes Chilwell's delivery to the near post. Semedo with the header away. Reece James will try and hook it back to the edge of the box. Dendoncker's header goes high in the air. Bolly made sure that was his ahead of Timo Werner.
I'll tell you what, he don't fancy, did he, Werner? He just stood and watched.
Here come Chelsea again, though. Kai Havertz, 25 yards from goal. Good footing by Neves. Podence with the ball at his feet. A simple pass to Marçal, who not sure he entirely meant to skip away from Havertz there, but he managed to do so anyway. And he finds Neto. Infield to Marçal, who continued on. Neto back infield to Neves. Good this from Wolves. As Neves looking to sweep it to Semedo, but intercepted by Chilwell, who can now try and drive into the space vacated by Semedo. Early one in towards Giroud. Cody with a flick on the cross. Marcel back to Saiss as Wolves get possession again. Clever ball by Saiss to Marcel. Wolves refusing just to launch it downfield, playing their way out from deep. Very pleasing on the eye at the minute.
Yeah, it is. So they're looking confident, aren't they? So composed on that ball. But it's just that when we do break that press of Chelsea, that we're looking up and we've not got anything in front of him, have we? And all of a sudden, we've just got to pause a little bit and start to come back. It's okay occasionally, but I'd like to just see us have a little bit of a gamble and get forward and try and put Chelsea on the back foot.
Cody up towards Fabio Silva. Couldn't quite get control of it. Giroud plays it all the way back to Thiago Silva, just short of the centre circle. That's the right-hand side to Reece James. Over halfway come Chelsea. Through to the run of Kai Havertz, up towards the edge of the area. It's the right-hand side to Pulisic. One touch, low cross into the danger zone. It evaded Havertz and Werner. Came all the way through to Chilwell. Left-footed cross from him, hanging high to the far post. And Saiss with another very important defensive header behind for a corner.
Oh, brilliant defending from him. Drew must have thought that he got that. His eyes were lighting up with the simple header. Because initially you saw Saiss slip over in that build-up, but you just watched there. Got himself into a great position, Saiss.
Approaching the final minute of the first 45. Mason Mount back on corners from the right-hand side, right-footed. The outswinger rather than in-swinger this time. It's a high-hanging delivery. Zuma climbed high, it hits the crossbar, and somehow Giroud has put it wide from 2 yards out.
What a let-off. I'll tell you what a leap from Zuma. Just watching him here in the replay.
Well, Chilwell is holding on to Willy Bolly. That's what you might be able to hear the Wolves bench fuming. The Zuma's header rattling back off the crossbar. And how Giroud didn't turn this home.
Oh. Well, I said to you earlier on about Chilwell with Bolly, that he's actually holding on to him. He's stopping him from coming out to that for so Giroud or any other the players can come and attack it.
It's almost NFL style blocking.
Yeah, he's done it numerous times, and every corner he's done it.
Need a yellow flag on the play.
But the referee's got to be aware of that for me. I think that he needs to be aware about him holding him off because he's basically had his arms around him a couple of times.
Final action of the first half. Nothing to be added on at the end of the entertaining first 45-minute period. Wolves maybe just edging the chances overall, though Chelsea perhaps with the best of them right at the end of the half. That Zuma header off the crossbar, and Giroud maybe just came to him too quickly. He couldn't get his feet in the right position to turn it home. Willy Bolly still deep in discussion with Stuart Atwell as they head off here for half-time. Wolves very unhappy with Chelsea's tactics from set pieces. Going the other way, though. There's been a couple of efforts from distance from Wolves, including one for Connor Cody. There's a rare moment in a football match.
Well, it is, as you said, the stat man's giving you the stats on Connor Cody. But look, I think that the more than held their own, they've had some good opportunities. The movements look good. We've looked more comfortable in the formation. And look, it's going to be like that with the way that we've played over the number of years since Nuno's been in here. But I think they were pretty pleased with that first half, with the way that they're playing against Chelsea. They've limited them to a couple of half chances, apart from that Zuma effort there. So a little bit of a problem with holding on Bolly to stop it. But for me, overall, I think Nuno and the players will be happy with that first half.
Honours even at the break. Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. Don't go anywhere. The thoughts of Chris Iwelumo and Alex Rae to come on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it. I've been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Julian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in for me, and even more so when after having a tough first 4 or 5 months that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
All Gold Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Half time here at Molineux then. Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. Not a bad first half, that, Chris Iwelumo, will be told.
Fantastic first half. I've got to say, excellent. You know what? We have to applaud Neves. I think he's been outstanding. And again, that relationship between Neves and Dendoncker, Alex will probably go into a little bit more depth. Dendoncker's got the intelligence to go away, and it's leaving Neves a lot of space. But what we are, in possession of the ball, we're using the ball so well. You know, if we're consistently giving it away, but we're having probably, I think 22 passes was the one just before the Pedro Neto shot. It was outstanding. We just kept the ball so well. And Neves was outstanding on that. You know, he's getting the ball, he's getting time. Even when he's tight, Alex, he's aware. He's got a picture before he receives the ball. The little ones with the outside of the foot. He's opened up both Martial and Semedo. You know, I think it's been excellent. I think, like you say, there's a real understanding. And this is something that we go back to. The players know this formation. They know the responsibilities throughout. They know the responsibilities of others in other positions, and it's very fluent. And in saying that, we've had the better chances in the half, albeit that goal, that Zuma, if it was in the goal, VAR would have disallowed that, because it's a blatant hold on Willy Bolly from coming through and clearing the ball there. I know I'm listening to your commentary as well, and it's fantastic as always, Mikey, but I've got to say that's what VAR that's the positives of VAR, that if Zuma hits the target there, that goal's going to be disallowed, because Chilwell is basically all over Willy Bolly. He can't do nothing there. But talking about football, Nuno will be delighted. And what we're going to say again, clinical. You know, those little moments. You know, Neto done everything right. Could he have struck it better? Neves had an opportunity from distance. You know, again, Fabio Silva, great little touches. Tomo called it. Needed to be stronger on a certain occasion. But again, other little bits. Pedence, he's such a good footballer. He's probably doing too much in wrong areas.
Go on, Alex.
Oh no, I must say I'm actually enjoying it. I'm fascinated by the tactical side of things that Nuno has adopted, because the way they've actually set up, it's Fabio Silva up front, and you have Neto one side, and Pedence has actually gone central and just sat on Kante, and they're not allowing it to come through the middle of the park. They're almost allowing the two fullbacks, Chilwell and James, to maraud forward. And if it's Chilwell, then what happens is Dendoncker pushes across. Neves comes across with him, and it's becoming very condensed. And I think when the balls have come into the box, I think they've handled it very well, the back three. And I think overall, Nuno will be happy. If you're looking for a little bit more, for me, in terms of an offensive threat, it's been a couple of shots from distance, really. We haven't really threatened. We haven't got in behind. We spoke at the top of the show that we would like to try and get some of the wider guys, Podence or Neto, in a wider area and trying to get balls in and around the face, maybe trouble Chelsea. We've not managed to create that as of yet. And as I said, I think the big man's right there. And Zuma's, when it hit the bar there, it was clearly a block. I don't think that would have materialised. And I think when they've been more of a threat is when they've actually got to wider areas and have put in some decent balls to Giroud. You have to compete. We've managed to get the odd touch away, but you always have to be vigilant because the big guy is prolific if you can just give him that one chance.
Alex, Tomo, it's probably more for Tomo actually. As a fullback, you bomb forward. It's definitely an instruction, and Alex has called it. The front three are quite tight together. So does that provide more space for our fullbacks to bomb forward? Because it's like one of them, like we're talking about the Doherty, Traore. Traore's always kind of expansive, he's quite wide, and Doherty would come in under that. But the Podence and Neto, they are quite central. That's allowing Semedo space and Martial space. And I just feel I need a little bit more from both of them.
It is. What it is, all they're doing is they're trying to get Reece James and Chilwell to come inside to mark them two, which allows then the fullbacks to go on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do. So like you touched on there about Doughty used to do it a lot, where it was either Traore going inside or Doughty even going inside. And just linking up. So, but you're just trying to get that fullback for the opposition just to come out of that position where they can go and close down the fullback. They're just trying to get them to come in.
I think that's what. Sorry, Mikey. I actually think this has worked rather well for the periods of possession that we've actually had, Mikey. Because what's happening is, if you can get Neves on the ball, he just opens up, drills one out to the right wing back, Semedo, and vice versa on the left-hand side. And what that does is it allows you to get a bit of control and a little bit of breathing space. Otherwise, it's just wave after wave. So that is where they're actually getting the joy from side to side. And we just have to try and find them pockets where we can actually exploit them and get something going middle to front so that we can actually start kind of asking questions of Mendy and the Chelsea goal.
But see that position, Alex, like Semedo and Martial is getting a lot of ball from Neves, but we're coming back a lot. I'd like them to be a little bit more direct and get at them. Semedo's shown that little kind of link up with Dendoncker was outstanding. But I want more. I want more because we are basically at the attacking third line. They receive the ball. They're face up with one-on-one. I'm expecting get a yard, put a ball in, run your man, take him on, do something rather than just. And is it the easy option? I know it's Chelsea we're playing, so is it all about let's keep the ball?
Early on, didn't we? Semedo had a great run forward. That ended up getting a corner inside 2 minutes or so. But we've seen him having to do an awful lot more defending than he's been involved going forwards, maybe.
Yeah, so see what the guys are talking about there. The one time that it did come off, it was Semedo coming in and getting a little couple of give and goes. Now, we've obviously mentioned that, you're looking for the two guys, Neto and Podence, just trying to kind of suck in the fullbacks. Once there's that switch of play, I would like one of the guys to actually penetrate in behind, which will then take the defenders, the central defenders, deeper, and then you can start playing into a little kind of a number 10 position, and then you're actually like kind of asking cat and mouse. So you're asking more questions of the back line rather than turning back, coming back, because it allows Chelsea just to filter back in. And then it fizzles out for Wolves. And out with a counter-attack through Podence or Neto just driving up the pitch, you're just thinking to yourself, how are you going to hurt them going forward? That'll be the question mark for Nuno now. How do you get in behind them?
Yeah, because we've done it a couple of times to the centre-half. Zuma's had to come out wide right to pick up Neto. I say Thiago Silva's had to go out left to pick up Podence. And once again, there's got to be spaces in between them. And we just got to be brave enough just to have a go, because we look like we're getting so far up the field, hitting a wall, coming back, as Looms is just saying. Have a go. Have a gamble. If you're one-on-one, because Neto was one-on-one with Zuma a couple of times. Get at it.
What I will say is Neves is getting a lot of the ball in that just outside the D, probably 20, 25 yards. I never thought he would get up the pitch that far. I thought they would be that dominant. So that's just down. So we're playing through the thirds. We're getting it up to the attacking third. And like what Alex said, if it's Podence or it's Neto that's making that run in behind, then that's got to be dealt with one of the centre-backs and probably Kante as well, because he's got to follow his man. That's the way that he is. So what does that do? That creates that space in the central area for the likes of Neves to go on the ball. And like you say, if you want someone 25 yards from goal who's got the bullet.
Well, you say that though, but I mean, there was that one moment where Wolves actually won the ball in the Chelsea half, and suddenly it was Neves breaking to the edge of the area, and I think we were all probably thinking, shoot. And he seemed to. Did he take too long, or do we just give Kante the credit for spotting that danger?
I don't think he realised how quick Kante was to recover. I don't think, but I think he's got to be a little bit sharper.
Tom,
you would have hit that, Alex. You would have hit that.
I was just about to say that. You've stole my thunder there. It's like Tom recovering.
Overall, though, and the boys are mentioning it a little bit there. Look, we know that Wolves don't always score in the first half. In fact, they failed to score a first half goal in 63 of 89 Premier League games. So it's maybe not such a surprise. But defensively, Alex Rae, Romain Saiz a couple of times, and even credit to Semedo a couple of times. Some of those crosses, their defending of the far post, touch wood, has been really good so far.
Yeah, but naturally you get Giroud trying to peel away to there. It's like Big Chris, you naturally peel away to the back post. And it's so important. And there'll obviously be an aerial advantage as well with Semedo and Giroud. And you have to jump, Tom will tell you have to jump early and at least impact him and make sure you can impact him rather than get a free header on target. And I actually think they've defended really well. When it mattered, they've always managed to get a touch there. And I think it's important because focus becomes the key thing there. As the game wears on, his fatigue kicks in. You've got to be there and you've all got to put yourself in the right areas.
Right, Chelsea are just heading back out now. I think we're fairly positive all round on that first half performance. Hopefully, more to come. Go on, Looms. I
want you to get your result, mate. I want you to get your result. Come on, Mikey. Come on, Mikey.
The 1-0 still could be possible.
You do know that we never leave it down now, Looms.
I'll live with it. If we win 1-0, I'll live with it.
I'll forego it for tonight. Right, thank you. More from Iwelumo and Alex Rae after the final whistle here on Matchday Live Extra. Don't go anywhere. Second half is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it. I've been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Julian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from England, and even more so when after having a tough first 4 or 5 months that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
So here we go for the second half here at Molineux, and there has been a change for Wolves at half-time. Leander Dendoncker has gone off, and it is a Premier League debut for Owen Otazawi in the midfield. He is a youngster mainly from the under-23s, but has been with the first team squad for the majority of this season, has Owen. He's only 19 years of age. He got his first cap for the United States of America recently. And he is on and chasing down Ben Chilwell as we speak. He can play in defence as well. He's equally adept at carrying the ball forwards as Chilwell fires in across that Cody heads out. It comes through to Reece James, who skies his attempted strike a long way over the crossbar.
Yeah, there must have been injury there, hadn't they, for Dendoncker, I would have thought. Didn't really see anything that first half, did we? So I didn't see him actually pick anything up. But it's going to be interesting for the youngster to come in. What a game to come in.
Absolutely. And a big moment for Owen Otasowie. Let's hope he can take it. His only other brief first team experience was as a late substitute in the Europa League last season against Besiktas here. As Kante plays the ball forward, so Wolves with Patricio in goal, Bolly, Cody Saiz, Semedo and Marçal the wing backs, Otasowie and Neves in midfield now, Neto, Fabio Silva and Pedence the attacking three. Chelsea with Mendy in goal, James, Zuma, Silva and Chilwell, Havertz, Kante, Mount, Pulisic, Giroud and Werner. This is Werner on the left-hand side, blocked off by Otasowie, but he continues on here, Timo Werner. No cross in, turned away by Semedo. Otasowie to Pedence, infield to Neves. What he does have, Owen Otasowie, is a great engine.
No, he's going to have to, isn't he? So, like, the work he's going to have to get through with Neves in that middle of the pitch.
There's Marçal. So he primarily played as a defender in the under-23s last season, but he was a midfielder before then, and I think he is a bit more comfortable in midfield.
Oh, look, say, if you're going to make your debut, you play against the big teams, and it's going to be great for him.
Here is Neto on the turn, down the left-hand side, wide for Marçal, just a bit too far ahead of him, but they'll pull it back for the foul on Neto in the build-up.
Well, you don't know this very much, Stuart Atwell, but good decision for him. Calling it back.
And Otasowie will add to the height as well.
I was going to say, he's a big lad, isn't he?
Just be rivaling Bolly for the tallest player in the Wolves lineup.
Well, good opportunity for him here. He's gone up to that top end of the field, hasn't he? Up against that back line of Chelsea.
So he's only made 3 appearances for the under-23s this season, having been primarily in and around the first team group. Neto will send it in. It was towards him and he got his head to it. It comes flashing through the penalty area to Fabio Silva, who tried to put it back in and rather slice his attempted cross behind for a goal kick.
He's got to put that in first time, just on the drop volley there, side foot it, I think. So once he's had his touch, he's closed down by Chilwell. Fabio Silva, so he's just needed to have a little bit of a confidence in his own ability there, I think, a little bit.
There's Timo Werner on the left-hand side for Chelsea. They're attacking the Stankolis North Bank second half. Chilwell on the overlap. Fires in a cross and brilliant. Oh, it stayed out. Somehow Patricio's got it away. As he know, they're checking the watch and it's a goal. Giroud strike 6 yards out. It looked for a moment like Patricio had done enough. The ball was rifled at him. He just couldn't quite stop it from going over the line. It took a moment for the goal decision system to make its decision.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have the lead early in the second half.
Well, they just got outnumbered down this Wolves right-hand side, didn't they? Just got outnumbered. Unfortunately, it wasn't just 2 against 1, it was like 3 against 1 in the end. But nobody's gone with Chilwell. And he's fired it across and he's just got the run on volley.
Well, Patricio will feel like he maybe should have held on to it.
Yeah, just gone over the line, hasn't it?
Tried to scoop it back with his left hand. The goal decision system ruling that it had gone in its entirety.
Yeah, just watching the replay of it.
And they were just making doubly sure. And we are going to get back underway.
That's not a great start for the second half, is it? But they just got outnumbered.
And Wolves are giving possession away again. And Timo Werner driving forwards, threatening a second. Bolly with a foot in this time. Cleared to Pedence, to Otasowie. Neves for Semedo. It's just got a little bit ragged here.
Yeah, it has. We've got to settle down a little bit. Just got to settle down. It's just not the stuffing out of him a little bit, hasn't it? The goal.
Chilwell with a throw. Wolves now having to come from behind. Otasowie with a foot in ahead of Giroud. Semedo left-footed, cleared downfield. Thiago Silva nodding it down for Chilwell. Pedence with a foot in. It will be a Chelsea throw, though. And talk about the fortunes being against Wolves at the minute. You'd argue most of the time, 9 times out of 10 at least, Patricio would have held on to that.
But also as well, he's just got a great connection on it, and I say he's unfortunate by Patricio, but he's just slightly got ahead of Bolly, hasn't he? He was just like, again, we talk about fractions.
James lining up a shot from distance, and again it goes high into the stand behind the goal. The Wolves find themselves behind here at Molineux.
Yeah, just watching the replay again. It's so unfortunate, Patricio.
Wrapped his left foot round it, Giroud. I guess it might be being kind to Patricio. He's just so close to him and came at him so quickly. Yeah. Havertz. Oh, loose pass by Reece James, straight to Podence. Daniel Podence, 25 yards out, looking for an option to the right. He's asked a lot of Otasowie. He's asked too much of Otasowie.
He's got to play to his feet there. He's got to play to his feet. He had no chance of getting onto the end of that. Otasowie. It's just miles too far in front. I know Podence has just put his head in his hands, and he knows himself. Yeah, they've just got to pick themselves up and get on with it.
It's moments like this, they need Podence to step up and be an important figure as Marcel intercepts a pass that was sweeping out wide for Pulisic. Neto flicking it on, but having to chase it himself.
Yeah, just got to get a foot on the ball now, haven't we? See Chelsea that little bit more of an edge now.
24 now, Daniel Podence. He's the senior man of that attacking lineup. They need him to be a figurehead for it.
Yeah, they need to.
There's Marcel on the left-hand side. Back to Romain Saiz. Edge of his own penalty area in the corner of the box. Back to Cody. He'll be chased down by Giroud. Cody, though, calmly whips it wide for Semedo. Semedo closed down by Mason Mount. Being forced backwards by Werner to his own corner flag. Support from Bolly. Short to Neves. Back for Semedo. Manages to clear it down the line, but it's already gone out of play for a Chelsea throw. Just feels like Chelsea have stepped up in tempo second half, and Wolves haven't quite matched them yet.
No, so just one little incident, wasn't he? Just outnumbered on this left-hand side, ball out to here. And just got bodies across here and just outnumbered Wolves, unfortunately.
Havertz for Reece James. Out to the right-hand side to Pulisic. Looking to try and cut back infield. Dinking across in towards Havertz. It was Cody, I think, who got a vital touch to it.
It was Conor Cody. He did really well there.
Werner keeps it in by the corner flag to Kai Havertz again. Blocked off by Otasowie, though. And Fabio Silva now trying to drive Wolves downfield. Podence. Infield to Neves. They've beaten the press. Here comes Neves over the halfway line. In towards Neto. Marcel racing up outside of him. Neto trying to drive forwards. A low one in. Fabio Silva arriving. Offside flag goes up against him. And his big moment looks like it will be taken away from him.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Well, it's going to go to VAR. I think he was, wasn't he? Yeah, he is. He's well offside.
Good yard offside, Fabio Silva.
It's a shame. It's a shame. But again, it's promising attack, wasn't it? At least they've got an effort at goal. I know it was ruled offside, but it's marginal.
Oh, it wasn't quite marginal.
No, but you know what I mean. So look, it's. I'm not going to discuss. It was offside, but I'm just saying no. It's. But just the Neto shot, just getting forward. At least they're creating something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chelsea had a free kick on the right-hand touchline. It's good to see Neto have that go. I think it was more of a shot than a cross.
Yeah. Just didn't catch it, did he? It just felt nice.
I think
Silva.
Word has just been sent to Adama Traore that it will be time for him very soon. Nuno ringing the changes 10 minutes into the second half.
Well, they've got to do something to hurt Chelsea a little bit more, haven't they?
Saiz first to the free kick to launch it up towards halfway. Zuma ahead of Fabio Silva. Neves was pushed in the back by Kai Havertz. Saiz getting on with things to Cody. And to lift it high out to Semedo on the chest, over the halfway line, cutting back infield. Allowed to continue his run here, Semedo. Wide to the right side to Neto. Back infield to Neves, midway inside the half. Trying to switch the play out to the left-hand side. Reece James' header will be picked up on by Marçal. Infield to Prudence. Checking back, looking on his right foot, in towards Otasowie. Back to Neves it goes. Now towards Neto. Neto up towards the edge of the penalty area, tracked all the way though by Mason Mount, who gets the ball away from him. And back to Chilwell. Looks to clear it up towards halfway. Giroud and Bolly battling with each other. Ball goes all the way through to Cody.
Giroud nearly ended up in the Wolves dugout there at one stage.
Neves on halfway, low across to Marçal. Back infield to Neves, just on the edge of the centre circle. Turning and playing a high ball out to Semedo. Lovely pass to find Semedo. Low cross into the near post, away by Thiago Silva. It'll be a Wolves throw.
Yeah, so they're starting to find the range again, Wolves. They've eased themselves back into this second half. And it's nice to see that they're starting to ask questions of Chelsea now.
57 minutes played at Molineux. Nelson Semedo with a throw on the right-hand side. He's got Prudence down the line. Bolly is forwards for him, just inside the penalty area. Otasowie behind him. Saiss is in there as well, alongside Fabio Silva. Semedo's throw, headed away at the near post by Havertz. Back in by Neves. Saiss down to Fabio Silva. Couldn't quite work it to Neto. It was blocked off by Pulisic, and Chelsea now threatening a counter-attack through Kai Havertz down the right-hand side. Neves tracked him, got a touch to it out of play for a Chelsea throw.
Yeah, again, so it's just letting them down in that final third, isn't it? So like they're just trying to create something. Little balls around the corner, little flicks. It's just not coming off at the moment.
Kante out to the left-hand side to Mason Mount. Over the halfway line, 2 yards in from the touchline. Back to Chilwell. Thiago Silva with a high one out to Reece James. Brought down 15 yards inside the Wolves half. An early cross to the edge of the box, headed down by Cody to the feet of Neves, who tried to release Fabio Silva. He wasn't quite on the same wavelength. Thiago Silva in possession. N'Golo Kante allowed to turn. Reece James over halfway to Havertz. Carrying the ball forwards down the Chelsea right. Pulisic cutting in field, playing it back to Reece James. Into the Chelsea half for Zuma. Now Thiago Silva. Into play it to the Chelsea right, finding the feet of Reece James, midway inside the Wolves half. Couple in from the right-hand touchline. Pulisic being forced backwards by Marçal. Managing to get away from him, finding Kante. Back out to Reece James. Support again from N'Golo Kante. Chelsea trying to pull Wolves out of their defensive shape at the minute. Comes left-hand side, Chilwell to Mount, midway inside the half. Infield to Werner. Werner finding Reece James, tracked by Fabio Silva. Ball comes to N'Golo Kante. Swept out to the right-hand side. Havertz looking to run at Marçal, cutting back on his left foot. Low one, blocked off by Saiss. Zuma first to the clearance. Kante out to the right-hand side again for Havertz. Down the line looking for the run of Pulisic. On his right-hand side, cross comes in, all goes all the way through the penalty area. Giroud was climbing high and couldn't quite reach it. Otasowie, though, showing great pace and strength to get there ahead of Mason Mount. And then Mason Mount crudely chopping him down.
Yeah, that's because he's lost the ball. He's just gone for the young lad. Otasowie did really well there, didn't he? Great pace, as you talked about. Composure, not just to get rid of it. Yeah. See, things like that are just blatant, aren't they?
And it's Fabio Silva who will be replaced.
Well, Neto's gone straight into the middle. So I assume that Traore will be out on this right-hand side. Let's just hope they can get the ball to him.
No first Premier League goal for Fabio Silva. He did have the ball in the back of the net, but was a good yard offside.
Yeah, it's a shame. So look, with the one that he hit the post with at the weekend as well. Still can't believe that never went in for him.
There's Cody. And a raking diagonal ball towards Semedo. Chilwell got there first, and Chilwell and Semedo collided. The free kick has been given Chelsea's way. Semedo just getting to his feet. Chilwell a little slow to get to his.
To be fair, Semedo, they've collided. He had his eyes on the ball all the time.
Yeah, and he stopped, didn't he? It was Chilwell's follow through that caught Semedo.
Yeah, I'll say it's a foul, but so there's no malice there at all, and rightfully so. The referee hasn't booked him.
It's past the hour mark. 61 minutes played. Wolves 0, Chelsea 1. High raking ball out to Reece James on the right-hand side. Over the halfway line he comes. Back infield to N'Golo Kante, just to the right of the centre circle. Closed down by Podence. Gets it back from Zuma. Again allowed to turn and find Havertz. Now to Reece James. Back inside to Zuma. High ball that Chilwell had to challenge ahead of Otasowie. Bolly looking for Otasowie. Got it back to Semedo. Did well to keep it in there, the youngster. Semedo running forwards, and they'll pull it back for the free kick on halfway as Semedo was knocked off balance.
Yeah, so the referee's just letting the advantage go, but unfortunately he got nudged again.
And Bolly is going forwards, and Saiss has gone forwards, and Cody is going to take this on the halfway line. And Chelsea are desperately trying to get Giroud back to help out. Cody, they hit it in the direction of Bolly. It looked like he was blocked off there.
I'll tell you what.
Well, referee waving away any protest. Neves' header forwards, picked up by Giroud. Chelsea trying to threaten on the counter, just held up enough. Kante, that'll be intercepted by Otasowie.
To be fair, they've got it in for Bolly, haven't they? Still, for some reason.
There's Traore to his right-hand side. Traore caught late by Giroud. Otasowie for Podence, and Podence wisely stopping the play so Wolves can come back for the free kick instead, as Traore was still down.
He's not got up yet, has he, Traore?
He was bumped late by Olivier Giroud.
Oh yeah, kick of the ankle.
He's not had any treatment yet, Traore, but he's still bent over on his knees.
Well, is he ever going to have to get up or allow somebody to go on and treat him? Because he's not getting up, is he?
Yeah, he's finding it difficult at the minute. Connor Cody coming towards him to have a word. He's struggling, Adama Traore. He's now onto his feet, hobbling a little bit. Doesn't look at all happy. He's got to move out of the way because he's blocking Ruben Neves from taking this free kick. Stood 2 yards to the right of him. It's Neves trying to curl it in towards Bolly. It came off a Chelsea head. It will be a Wolves corner. Still the concern is for Adama Traore, who hasn't moved.
Well, he's not walking. He's still crouched out. He's trying to walk now. It's clearly caught him a lot more than everybody thought.
He's not in this attack as Neto gets set to take the corner left-footed from the left-hand side. In comes Neto's delivery, headed away by Havertz, out to Neves. Here's Marçal, wide to the left to Neto. Podence with him for company. Podence cutting infield on his right foot, trying to check back, and Thiago Silva got something on it. The ball's going to run through to Neto, though. Neto fires across in. Bolly was at the near post. He'll go behind for a Wolves corner.
I'll tell you what, I'm just still watching Traore.
He's in discussion with Nuno here, and the Wolves bench are kind of asking the question as to, well, if you're injured, go down. Can you continue?
Well, he's just given the signal that he's said just leave it. Well,
corner taken short. Here's Marçal, headed away by Havertz at the near post. Neves heading it back into the danger zone. Bolly closing in. Thiago Silva's header. Otasowie nodding it down for Podence. Left-hand side of the box onto his right foot. Trying to curl it. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Daniel Podence, who's managed to find his way through and find a crucial equaliser. Wolves 1, Chelsea 1. 65.5 minutes played.
I'll tell you what, it's great footwork from him because he's got the defenders twisting and turning everywhere. And you can just looking at the Chelsea players, they're not happy at all with what's gone on. But some great play from him. He's got 3 or 4 players around him. He's given a dummy a couple of times. Oh, Has he gone straight through his legs? Just looking at the opportunity.
He dummied Reece James.
No,
It
it's just
hits the back
deflected.
of James, and it may well have beaten Mendy at the near post anyway, but the deflection just helped it evade the fingertips.
Just took him away a little bit from him, didn't it? But again, it's well played. Now, eventually, Traore's gone down.
Third of the season, and his 13th appearance of the season for Daniel Podence. Gets Wolves back on level terms. As Ty says, Adama Traore is down on the floor now, getting some treatment in the Chelsea half.
It didn't look so. I know that he's got caught with him, but so look, he didn't look that bad, but clearly it was.
Maybe just rolled the ankle.
Yeah.
But going back to Daniel Podence, we talked a few minutes ago about him being the senior man in that attacking lineup now and needing to lead from the front. And boy, has he just followed through with that.
Yeah. Well, his great feat, wasn't it? So look, he threw a couple of dummies in there to the Chelsea defenders. I know it took a deflection off Reece James. Just watching the volley one here. Oh, tell you what, that was unlucky, that was. Just got a little bit too much contact on it. I tell you what, they're making a change, I think. He's not happy. Traore.
He's coming to the side of the field. And that may be it for Adama Traore. He is in discussion with Nuno. I think he is going to come back on. Chelsea waiting to get restarted.
Well, fingers crossed that he's all right.
He is back on Adama Traore.
He got up a little gingerly, didn't he? So look, he wasn't happy about moving and stuff. Things took him ages to get to his feet. Seems to be moving okay now.
Zuma out to the right-hand side to Reece James. Game on at Molineux now. Havertz down the right-hand side for Chelsea. It's drawn Saiss out wide. Saiss putting enough pressure on him. Havertz going backwards. Now trying to cut back in field. This pass will go all the way through for a goal kick. Wolves options from the bench. I guess they could put Ait-Nouri on as one of the attacking three if they wanted as a wide left. We saw that late on against Liverpool. They do have Vitinha on the bench as well, who could come on and probably play that sort of role. They wouldn't want to lose Adama Traore. But if Adama Traore can't run, is he as effective as he could be?
Oof.
Pressure being applied though. Here is Traore on the ball. Being forced backwards, trying to turn, almost turned into Chilwell, holding him off, cutting back in field. He's done well to find Podence. He's put it through the legs of Havertz. That's naughty. Here's Podence driving on down the left-hand side.
Oh, he's a bit cheeky. I love that.
Neves out to Semedo on the right-hand side, up against Werner, trying to skip past him. It's been held up. Infield to Daniel Podence. He's involved in everything. Tried to play a back heel. Semedo wasn't quite aware of what Podence was intending. Clearance as far as Bolly on halfway.
Well, it's Wolves' turn to put pressure on Chelsea now. Again, that goal.
Neves back to Bolly, just inside his own half. Looking to try and knock it down the right-hand side for the run of Podence. Chilwell will get there first, but under pressure from the young Portuguese, just had to hoist it high in the air. Awkward bounce. Mount's header infield. Giroud. Bolly stepping in ahead of Werner, although Stuart Atwell gives a free kick and almost the entire Wolves bench jumped up in unison there.
Well, it's right in front of the dugout as well, isn't it? They're saying there was no contact there at all. No. How's that?
Oh. No, it's a block challenge.
Oh.
And Werner was off balance.
How's that
by virtue of he kicked the ball. Bolly didn't touch him.
Well, both of them have gone in with the ball. So
and it's a block challenge. Yeah. The ball gets sandwiched between them.
Oh, awful decision. You know that prize I gave him earlier on? I'm taking it back.
Podence is down with an issue right now at the minute. Just stretching out his right leg, maybe the right
hamstring.
They, we go back at the weekend to the one with Tyrone Mings on Podence on the halfway line. That was 30 seconds before the penalty. That you just think some of these decisions that have gone against Wolves recently have been very much on the harsh side.
I think that's an awful decision.
Havertz going off, Kovacic coming on. And
Abraham coming on.
Giroud going off and Tammy Abraham coming on.
Well, he had a good time here last year. Let's hope he doesn't have the same.
Palence is up and on the side of the field. Waiting to come back on. And Tammy Abraham has scored 6 goals in 4 appearances against Wolves in his career. Saiss with a header from the edge of his own box. Pulisic wide for Reece James, lifting across high to the far post, came all the way through to Werner, who miscontrolled it. It's gone out of play.
Fortunate there. Semedo just gone underneath it. But his touch led him down, Werner. But they had a little spell there, didn't the Wolves? So they had a little spell against Chelsea, pushing them back. And it was good to see. Chelsea have done the press, haven't they? Stopping off, taking it short. Oh, great header. Otasowie, good header from him there. Oh, great touch.
Otasowie just about holding on to it, and N'Golo Kante gets there. Here's Chilwell. Trying to take it on down the left-hand side for Chelsea. Wide to Werner. Infield, he's managed to find his way through to Mason Mount. Cody got a touch to it, did really well, actually. Neves turns and gets it away. Traore challenging on the halfway line and will be penalised. It's all right, old game on.
Yeah, well, we said it had a little bit of an edge to it, and so it's carrying and continued.
Mount down the line for Werner, down the left-hand side. He'll draw Bolly out to him. Bolly got a foot to it. Werner went down in the penalty area.
What's he for? A great tackle.
Stuart Atwell waving away any protest. And they're just going to pause this.
Really? Oh, he's told to carry on.
Yeah, Mason Mount throwing it. Oh no,
N'Golo
Kante just caught the ball.
You. Cheers, Kante.
And that's a Wolves free kick.
Gladly accepted.
Well, that's bizarre.
Well, they thought he was pausing for some kind of VAR check. So Kante's caught the ball, but he blew the whistle for him to play on rather than for him to wait.
There's Marçal. Trying to play it infield here for Neves. Back to Romain Saiss. Zuma back to Mendy on the edge of his own penalty area. We have played 74 minutes at Molineux. Wolves 1, Chelsea 1. Bolly winning the ball in the air. Abraham under pressure from Otasowie, and Stuart Atwell was right there and gave the free kick Chelsea's way.
Yeah, he's just behind him, isn't he, Otasowie?
And it's probably just under 30 yards out. And Ben Chilwell and Reece James and Mason Mount are all interested in this. Quarter of an hour to go. Wolves' wall is just inside the D on the edge of the box. It tells you how far out it is.
Well, the first contact of Podence, isn't it? Just near the D.
Chilwell moves away. James and Mount are the two stood over the ball. 2-man wall. It's Reece James who curls it goalwards and parried down and saved comfortably by Rui Patricio.
Yeah, I think he'd be annoyed there if they beat it from that range, I think.
Enough time to see it, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got enough time where he can move and get across as he did there to collect it.
Kick downfield. Kante heading forward unchallenged. Neves down to Podence. That's just to flick it with the outside of the boot to Semedo. Forwards to Adama Traore. Traore He's got options down the line, one of which is Semedo. Attempted back heel, came off Chilwell. Chilwell and Semedo fighting for the ball here, and now Podence getting involved, and Chilwell trying to grab hold of him. Podence just wants to get things going, and there's going to be a card coming. A card for Daniel Podence for trying to start play again, I think.
Why for trying to get the ball? Ben Chilwell's holding it. He can't believe it either. All he's gone is for the ball. Chilwell's the throw-in's been given to Wolves. Why is he holding the ball?
Well, Daniel Podence goes into the referee's notebook. Make of that what you will. Officially, it's been noted as argument. Up on my phone there. Here is Daniel Podence. Down the line for Traore. Infield to Semedo. Into the penalty area. Semedo, low one in. Hooked goalwards, and Semedo trying to get there again. Traore following up.
Oh, what a chance.
It was Owen Otazawi who Semedo tried to put it across to, and I'm not sure why he didn't just shoot himself, Semedo.
Just about to say exactly the same thing. Why hasn't he hit it? It's sat up lovely for him.
Neto, wide left for Marçal. He was, 8 yards out? It just a slight angle, but...
It just bounced up great for him though as well, didn't it?
Chilwell intercepting a ball meant for Daniel Podence, and Semedo stepped across Chilwell. We play on though because Werner is charging downfield. Finds Kovacic, centre of Wolves half. Pulisic out to Reece James on the right-hand side. Marçal closing him down. Marçal's done well intercepting and now trying to set Neto away. And Chelsea had committed men forwards. Only Adama Traore up with Pedro Neto at the minute as he charges at Zuma, trying to go past him on the outside into the penalty area. Now checking back, needs some support.
Yeah, needs help, didn't he? So he did all that running up there. Needed some support up there, didn't he? To maintain it up that top third of it.
Neves, Otazawi, back to Saiz. So Ruben Neves taking over. Across the centre circle for Willy Bolly. Into the feet of Adama Traore, central position, turns and faces up against Kante. Tried to flick it through to Otazawi and it was blocked off, and now Chelsea will look to come, and Kante evading the challenge of Neves. It's like a basketball game at the minute, one side attacking, then the other. Here comes Werner up towards the corner of the penalty area, back infield to Kovacic. Kovacic lining up a strike, deflected off Otazawi and through to Patricio.
Good block, so made it simple for Patricio, didn't it? But I don't know if Traore is right still. Because
coming back to this chance here for Semedo.
Hit it. Oh, he's got to hit it.
Tried to square it to Otazawi and it was behind him.
Oh, he's got to hit that. It's just sat up lovely for a minute.
And then the follow-up fired the cross at Zuma. Arms down by his side. Ruben Neves has won a free kick in his own half for the time being.
Abraham's just caught him. I didn't see it because I was just watching the replay.
But Nelson Semedo has not scored in his Wolves career so far. He's not known for goal scoring in his career, but when you get into that kind of position,
you've just got to absolutely smash it as hard as you can. It's like I said, it's just bounced up great for him. You've got to just put everything through it.
There is Semedo. Infield to Traore. Like a hand in there from Kante. Otazawi found Podence. Under pressure from Mason Mount. Backwards to Bolly inside his own half. He's only scored 10 goals in his career, Nelson Semedo, in 261 career appearances before tonight.
Well played.
Saiz finding Neves over halfway to Pedro Neto, looking to carry the ball at pace and dangerous into the penalty area. He goes down, looking towards Stuart Atwell. He blows his whistle. Penalty, Wolves. Brilliant run by Pedro Neto. The referee took a long time to have a think about it and eventually gives Wolves the penalty kick.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Somebody driving forward and trying to get something out of the game. Did brilliant there, Neto. Yeah, just touched his foot, ankle, didn't he? Just on the way.
Reece James's challenge.
Just caught him just on the line.
Oh, does he?
Oh, looking at it from that angle.
They are. We'll check it on VAR.
Tell you what, when you look at it from that angle, is there any contact on him?
Wolves had one overturned at Liverpool.
Yeah, I think they might have another one overturned, I think.
10 days ago. They are checking to see if there's contact on Neto. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I fear the worst here.
The right foot coming in. It's whether there's just enough of a contact.
He's caught. When you look at it there, he looks like he's just caught him. Yeah, he's just caught his foot a little bit, didn't he? But I think that, I don't know. It's a tough one to call.
It's a long old check, this.
Yeah.
And Stuart Atwell's going to come and look at it himself.
Oh, that means that it's going to be overturned, I think.
The Wolves' argument would certainly be that Reece James's challenge, whether he made a strong connection or not, ended up sending Pedro Neto off balance and down. Frank Lampard getting involved in one or two things with the Wolves bench down in front of us. And Stuart Atwell checks on the fourth officials on the screen. The fourth official trying to stop one of the Wolves players from getting a drink at the minute. Stuart Atwell taking a long old look.
I think it'll be overturned with the way that he's looking at it. But is it the intention there which tripped him up?
A few players trying to gather around and have a look. And Stuart Atwell is changing his decision.
Told you.
No penalty. For the second time in just over a week. Wolves thought they'd got their first penalty of the season. And VAR ends up helping to overrule. And then we'll show it on the big screen here now.
But has it done enough to make him or knock him over, though?
Here comes Chilwell, driving forwards for Chelsea. Tammy Abraham leaves it for Chilwell. Lifts it to the far post. It'll come through to Reece James. Back to Kovacic to strike it. Deflection. Thankfully goes through to Patricio. With Tammy Abraham waiting to pounce.
Yeah, you're hoping that that's not a turning point. So look, the momentum was with Wolves there. It's a great run from Neto. And that's what we want to see more of.
There's Otasawi.
Well played.
Semedo stepping away from Kante. Looking to drive over the halfway line. Out to Neto on the right-hand side. Neto looking to run at Chilwell. Low one in towards Traore. Back to goal. Can he turn maybe to get his strike away? Couldn't quite squeeze out of a tight position.
Yeah, nowhere to go, did he, Traore? He's just trying to look for somebody to support him.
83.5 minutes played. Here's Pedence on to Marçal, continuing his run, desperately trying to get there. Oh, went too far ahead of him and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, a little bit of confidence in him now. Got the bit between the teeth, Wolves.
I can't wait for you, Chris Iwelumo and Alex Rae, to debate that penalty decision.
I did say, though, didn't I?
Post-match show.
Once I saw the replay, I didn't think it would be given.
Here's Werner. Blocked off by Otasawi. Ball going back deeper into the Wolves' half, though. Semedo hooking it clear. Neto's done well to bring it down. And he's looking to set off away from Kante. And Kante surely just drags him down.
It's got to be,
will be a free kick. And a yellow card coming. N'Golo Kante joins Mason Mount in the referee's notebook.
Well, that's where you go. You take a yellow card, didn't you? Because he was getting away from him, wasn't he? It's like a rugby tackle in the end.
5.5 minutes to play. Memories of 2 years ago when these two teams met at a similar stage of the season. Two second half goals turned things around as Wolves came from behind to win 2-1. Is history going to repeat itself? Neves' free kick too high over the top of everybody in that penalty area. Tammy Abraham chasing out to the right-hand touchline. Otasawi's done well, though, to get a block and win possession. Abraham trying to win it from him in that corner flag area, and Otasawi. I think the ball has gone out of play. Thought he'd got away. He's still running away with the ball, Otasawi.
Where's he taking this from? He's down by the corner flag.
You might be able to hear the Wolves bench making exactly that point as Neves goes flying in, and Chelsea free kick, and he might just get a telling off here, Ruben Neves, rather than a yellow card.
Well, he's took it about 15 yards further on up the pitch.
Just over 4 minutes left to play. You still can't call this.
No. So both teams are having to go at it.
Kovacic back to Thiago Silva, base of the centre circle, looking downfield, plays it to his right hand side to Zuma. Zuma trying to hit a long diagonal towards Werner. Semedo trying to close him down. Semedo's got a foot in and won it back, and now trying to release Pedro Neto. Kante coming towards him, but Neto tried to knock it past him. He's managed to hold on to possession for the time being. Werner going in too strongly. Free kick taken quickly. Semedo to Traore. Thiago Silva with a foot in. Molineux' first to the loose ball.
Again, how's that not a foul against him? He's got hold of him.
Saiss forwards. Podence didn't win it. Reece James did. Chelsea now looking to hit on the counter. Mason Mount through the centre circle to Pulisic. Out to the right-hand side for Reece James. Back infield to Kovacic. Across the left-hand side to Chilwell. 20 yards from goal, lifting it into the danger zone. Brilliant header by Romain Saiss to get it clear. Neves finding Podence, who switches the play to Otazawi. Up over the halfway line to Neto. Only Adama Traore through the middle. Neto will need support. Tammy Abraham tracking back. It'll be a Wolves throw, and here comes Vitinha.
Yeah, there's numerous times, isn't it, that Saiss has got a header to it or a little block. He's had another good game tonight.
Not quite ready to come on yet. The young Portuguese. 20 years of age, Vitinha. Semedo with a throw. Midway inside the Chelsea half. Just under 2.5 minutes left to play at the 90. There's Podence. Back to Bolly inside the Wolves half. 10 in from the right-hand touchline to Podence. Helps it round the corner to Semedo. Down the line for Traore. It's not close enough to him. Chilwell. Loose pass by Thiago Silva. Podence got onto it, but Thiago Silva recovers as Podence tried to knock it past him one way and run on the inside. Bolly, powerful header ahead of Tammy Abraham. Cleared forwards up to Werner. Infield to Pulisic, who takes a tumble from Connor Cody's challenge. Chelsea free kick midway inside the Wolves half, and 1:40 left to play. Kante gets on with it. Timo Werner to carry the ball forwards. As Chilwell slices his cross, they'll go out of play for a Wolves goal kick. That screaming was the Chelsea bench because Wolves had left two up front.
Yeah.
They didn't want extra players to go up.
Kovacic, wasn't it, that was screaming at, and he's just holding his hands out, just looking at the bench.
Daniel Podence, his goal at the minute, has got Wolves a share of the points. He will be replaced for the final 60 seconds at least by Vitinha. His strike, with the help of a slight deflection from Reece James, levelled things up. Thiago Silva nodding down for Chilwell. Vitinha giving chase. Molineux battling away with Mason Mount. Chilwell has the ball. Last 30 seconds of the 90 as Mason Mount carries it over halfway. Wide to the left-hand side to Werner. Playing it infield, deflected off Cody. Will come through to Marçal. Will play it early to the feet of Neto. Neto tried to knock it past Zuma, who fully committed himself.
He had to win that, didn't he, Zuma? Because he was away if he wasn't.
Bolly's got a problem here, I think. Cody's trying to just get them to pause while they check on him. Cody's telling Bolly to go down, and he will go down. He's going to need a bit of treatment. 5 minutes is what's being added on. We are told by the scoreboard already. And there's confirmation from the fourth official.
5 minutes added time. 5 minutes.
He's just holding the back of his leg, isn't he? Just above the knee. You're hoping that it's not too serious.
Don't forget to stay with us for post-match reaction from Andy Thompson, from Chris Iwelumo and Alex Rae. We are having a bit of a delay here as Willy Bolly gets treated. Maybe his right hamstring. Got back into the team, having missed out on the weekend, been on the bench, an unused substitute. He's made some powerful headers tonight.
He has. And it sounds like they've targeted him on set plays as well, haven't they? To block him off, or at both ends. So when he's going up or when he's defending, just watching that penalty again. Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what, it's a hard one.
Nice James and Pedro Neto in conversation right now. Again,
he would have done exactly the same.
It's the element maybe of expecting the contact, just as Connor Cody's was at Liverpool.
Well, as he's coming towards him, he's just knocked him off balance as well because he's expecting the contact, isn't he?
I think Steven Gerrard got one a long time ago for Liverpool that they described as an air foul. When you don't actually make contact, but in the presence of challenging, you knock him off balance.
Okay. Yeah. He's going to call him back on or not?
I think Bolly will rejoin the action shortly. Wolves with a throw on that left-hand side. So we are officially 2 minutes into the 5 added on, but we haven't had any action from that 2 minutes. Thiago Silva under pressure from Adama Traore. Bolly rejoining. Marçal will hook it forwards from the halfway line. Reece James' header goes high in the air. Kante forwards. Neves managing to poke it back to Cody. Looking for Semedo on halfway, midway between the centre circle and touchline. Lifting it forwards towards Neto. Thiago Silva's headed down. Picked up on by Vitinha. Support from Otazawi. Look at the youth Wolves have out there right now. Saiss into the feet of Neves. Good turn. And an even better pass out to the right-hand side to Neto. 10 yards from the right-hand corner flag. Neto coming back infield on his left foot. We'll pull it infield to Otazawi. For Neves. Neves now working it wide left to Marçal. One touch, crossing high to the far post, plucked out the air by Edouard Mendy.
Got no real targets in there, though, have we? That's where you just get it yourself in there. Just give him something to aim for.
Semedo challenging. Semedo getting a yellow card for fouling Pulisic. Maybe got away with one earlier when he tried to hack down Timo Werner. Officially, there is less than 2 minutes to play, and there will be more than that. Chelsea want to get things going. Stuart Atwell is insisting that he writes it down in his notebook. That's Nelson Semedo. Chilwell with a free kick, just over the halfway line. Launched forwards in the direction of Zuma. Bolly with a big, powerful header away. Vitinha to Neves. Early up towards Neto for Otazawi. Wide looking for Traore. He sold the pass short though, and Chilwell intercepted. And Chelsea now looking to hit on the break. Pulisic wide to Chilwell on the left-hand side. Low cross deflected. Comes to the edge of the box. Saiss, what a very clever clearance. Straight to the feet of Vitinha. And Vitinha now early up towards Neto. And he's got Traore in support. Neto, though, may choose to go it alone. Neto to strike it! Pedro Neto into the bottom corner. What a stunning counter-attack goal. And it may well be the winner. What a magic moment from a magic player. Pedro Neto. It's Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Stunning scenes at Molineux.
Oh, what a strike. He only had one thing in his mind, didn't he, which to receive that ball, getting that Zuma. As soon as he's got towards him, but it's a great ball out by Saiss. Vitinha just picked him out as well, but he's got one thing in his mind. He's getting at him one-on-one, just moves it to the left and then hits it. Oh, what a finish.
Absolutely clinical.
What a finish.
For his 4th goal of the season. And that may well be the best of them.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, every goal that he scores, it's got venom in it, hasn't it?
Nuno loved it.
Frank Lampard doesn't.
There is still possibly at least 2 minutes to play here.
Well, they're going to throw everything at them now, aren't they?
Neto celebrating with one of the ground staff.
It's taking the time getting back.
Here we go.
They're going to throw absolutely everything at it now.
Massive 2 minutes at Molineux.
Come on.
Having conceded late at the weekend, the Wolves just won it late. Thiago Silva.
Well, they're going to put this up there sooner or later.
Zuma launching forwards. Semedo heading it away. Traore battling away with Chilwell. Chilwell having to play it backwards into his own half to Thiago Silva. We've played 6 minutes of added on time already at Molineux. Here's Kovacic in the centre circle for N'Golo Kante to the left-hand side, in towards the feet of Pulisic, able to turn and looking to drive forwards. Wide out to the left-hand side to Chilwell. Cross hits Semedo and goes behind for a Chelsea corner.
Well, the keeper Mendy's coming up as well.
Chelsea will throw everything at it. Semedo is down for the time being. I think he took it in an awkward area. Just winded. We'll try and get back into position.
Well, what will be great now if Patricio comes out and gathers it. It'll be great.
Chilwell, corner, left-footed from the left-hand side, low in towards the near post. Semedo got a block on it ahead of Werner. It's another Chelsea corner as we head towards 7 minutes of added on time played at Molineux. Ben Chilwell again, left-footed from the left-hand side. Everybody back defending. Mendy, the goalkeeper, is up for Chelsea. It's hanging high towards him. It was a brilliant header by Bolly again. It comes out wide towards Chilwell. Has to wait for it to settle. Crosses into the danger zone. Cody with the first header away. Vitinha with a back header away, and it will come out for a throw to Chelsea on the left-hand side. Chilwell takes it quickly. Nearly 7.5 minutes played at Molineux. Reece James lifting it into the danger zone. Zuma's header goes high into the air. Bolly with a second header away. Vitinha trying to get a touch on it. Kante's there. Otazawi's won it. And now he finds Pedro Neto, and he can drive forwards, heading towards the corner. He's got support if he needs it, but he may well just head to try and eat up some seconds as he runs on the outside of Reece James. It's the penalty area. Still Pedro Neto trying to go for goal. And the final whistle goes. And a massive victory for Wolverhampton Wanderers, ending a run of 2 straight defeats. They were beaten late here on Saturday. They win it late here on Tuesday night to defeat high-flying Chelsea. A superb turnaround after Olivier Giroud's goal early in the second half had given Chelsea the lead. Daniel Podence with a super strike, beating Mendy at the near post, levelled things up. And Pedro Neto in stoppage time, breaking downfield and fizzing a shot into the bottom corner. Wolves have beaten Chelsea by 2-1.
Oh, what a great victory that is to come back. You mentioned it earlier on about coming from a goal down. Wolves saved in the last time, a couple of years ago, and we won 2-1. But it just shows you the character. We've gone back to that 3 at the back. For me, I think that we looked a lot more comfortable. But it just shows you, it just seems that we're the second half team with the 2 goals.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Deserved it in the end, I think.
We did. I think that we, after the initial setback from the goal, I think we started to put a little bit of pressure on Chelsea, started to ask questions of them. Got that first goal from Podence, but what a winner. What a winning goal. Great ball out from Saiz, wasn't it?
Well, we know he's a special talent, Pedro Neto. He's getting a big hug from Nuno. They know that he is capable of producing. We've had guests on Matchday Live Extra that have known him since he was a teenager, that have talked about the potential to be a true world star in the coming seasons. If he keeps doing things like that, he'll get there even sooner.
Yeah, it's just great to watch, isn't it? So when you see somebody playing with confidence and the ability that he's got, driving forward, he only had one thing in his mind after that disappointment from the penalty, to get that winning goal, and he got it.
Pedro Neto, and I tell you what, he's always got a smile on his face anyway, but he is beaming as he comes towards the side of the pitch. What a moment for him.
Yeah.
Big important victory too. Let us know what you thought of it. Get in touch, use the hashtag WolvesLive. We'll take a very quick break and then we'll get more thoughts from Andy Thompson, Alex Rae and Chris Iwelumo on Wolves TV's Matchday Live Extra.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it. I've been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Julian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from England, and even more so when, after having a tough first 4 or 5 months, that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Full time at Molineux, Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Boy, did we all need that. What a special feeling to see the team come from behind and produce a very special result from a brilliant finish from Pedro Neto to the end of it. We'll get to that moment in a minute. Calm yourself down, Chris Iwelumo. Let's run through it as we go through the story of that second half, because despite the fact it ended brilliantly, didn't really start that great in the second period.
No, it didn't, but what I have to say, Chelsea's been probably given the kind of the battering at half time from Frank. He wouldn't have been happy. They've come out, they've reacted to that, they've got on top, they've created. It was a great goal that was met well by Giroud. Patricio was very unlucky with the save. But what I have to applaud is the reaction, the character that was shown. It took us a little bit. You were a little bit kind of baffled, and then all of a sudden we just got back into the groove. Neves getting on the ball, playing both full-backs, wing-backs. We're using the ball, we're getting into the attacking third. We've got runners breaking their neck to get in there. Fabio Silva, I was watching it, I was saying, stay on line. You're looking across the line, you know that your man's drifted away from you. Alex, you can see it, you're calling it to the screen. You don't need to move forward anymore. You don't need to move forward. And the ball was going to be coming in. There was so much room for error of the ball. If Fabio Silva just stopped for probably a second, he's onside and he's just coming onto it, and he's probably having a clearer contact. Anyway, the penalty one. For me, it's a penalty kick. I don't care.
Okay, let's get to it.
I'm watching it, right? Pedro Neto is moving. He's going 100% at his fastest. It takes the slightest contact, and you can see Pedro Neto's already went past James. And then you can see the movement. His heel actually moves inside. So it's not the natural movement straight. His heel moves of his left foot. So the slightest contact when he's going at full pelt, doesn't matter how you were spot on in your commentary. Does Pedro Neto have to throw himself to ground if there's any contact at all? If there's any contact at all, it's a penalty kick.
Okay. Pause yourself there. Penalty for Chris Iwelumo. Tomo was umming and ahhing in commentary, having seen it all. So let's go to Alex Rae. What's your view? Penalty or no penalty?
Yeah, my initial reaction was that there was contact, but I haven't seen it in slow motion. And I take Chris's point in terms of if it's the slightest of touches because of the pace you're moving it. But I've got to be honest with you, I didn't see a great deal of contact at all, which would warrant him going down. But going back to your earlier points, Mikey, about the start of the second half, I said at half time, see if you gave Giroud a chance. And it was one time that they actually worked on overload in the wider areas. And when you give Chilwell that type of, opportunity to put across a goal, I thought Giroud's finish was excellent. Honestly, see to just toe poke that the way he did, get the power and the trajectory. I thought it was an excellent response for Chelsea. But as Chris says there, for me, the character that the team showed, because at that stage you think, where are they going to get it from? Now, we spoke at half time about the importance of Podence and Neto getting beyond, driving at people. I thought they too, because they're kids, they're still young boys learning their trade. See their performances tonight. Now, there must be people watch them. I'm not trying to entice anybody for these guys to get away from Wolves because they're just starting out their journey. But the performance that they put in tonight, the finishes, the two finishes, Podence's finishes, I know we're going to ahead of ourselves. Podence's finishes is brilliant. Yeah. See how he sells James the dummy, he feint to go in and then rifles it into that near post. And he uses the player to kind of knock it past him. It was brilliant. And then the actual finish as well. And the running power from Neto. And by the way, he's left Zuma for dead. He's finished. He doesn't know what day it is. He's had to go and get a complimentary ticket to get back into the game. and the finish and it's such a short backlift as well, Mikey, because he drills it so early across the keeper he can't react. Yeah. I actually thought it was a tremendous. And the important things to remember, Mikey, you need to listen to this.
I'm listening.
Is to get predictions right, son. At the early offset.
There you, Alex. There you are.
Mate,
well done, Tomo.
I've got 5 this season. These 2 that you're looking at, I've got 5. I'm sure 4. It's 5. Looms is trying to claim that I didn't get one. It's 5 too.
Tomo, do you know what?
Can I just say something about the stats? You look at the stats. What is it? 56 to 44 possession in Chelsea's favour. 13 shots to our 12. That we had more on target. If we never got that, if Neto never scored that goal, you're probably saying it is a draw, but it's a moment of quality. And Alex, you're spot on. These 2 young players are at the start of their journey, but they're taking it by the scruff of the neck, and they're taking the chances.
Hang on though, right? And Tomo, back me up on this, because we can talk about Podence, we can talk about Neto, but that second goal, that winning goal, does not happen unless Romain Saiz on the edge of his own penalty area, not only doing his defensive job, but a beautiful pass straight into the feet to enable it to get going. He could have easily, at that stage of a game, just put his foot through it and launched it. But the composure to get the attack moving, that's the key moment for me, Tomo.
Yeah, I thought that he had another good game. So how many times did he get a little flick with his head or a block? And he's got the composure when it's 1 each. So like Chelsea throwing everybody forward. He's got the composure just to pick out in the central midfield, where then releases Neto. And he had one thing on his mind. He's disappointed about the penalty not going his way, but he was making sure of the winning goal. And again, it's a great strike.
Tomo, going back to the start of the
Alex,
game.
Just hang on 1 second for me if you can, because we're going to get some reaction from down in the dressing room. I believe we're just checking on that 1 second. Sorry, Alex.
That's okay, mate.
Just through, because we want to speak to some of the players who've been involved in what has been a really impressive night tonight for Wolves. I don't think he's quite ready yet, so I'll come back to you, because we're talking about this amazing winning goal.
Yeah, without a doubt. Actually, the ball out, the actual finish. And I actually thought they were worthy of it. I thought they looked more like the team that was actually going to go and win the game. Yeah. They had the impetus at that time. They were driving forward and the momentum. And I thought they were great. It was almost as if the shackles were off and they were bombing forward. But I actually like the back 3, particularly when you don't have that focal point, because it allows you to absorb pressure. It allows you to get balls, and they have so many good ball-playing players at the back. It allows you to pick the type of passes resulting in that end goal because you've got guys that can bomb forward.
I thought Saiss, I thought Marcel, they were really impressive tonight as a unit defensively. And we talked a little bit about it at half-time, the way they defended those crosses in to the far post. But there was a couple of times where they just showed that maybe the little bit of experience, especially between Saiss and Marcel on that left-hand side, not really played together an awful lot, really. Saiss has been out a little bit. Marcel's been out a little bit. So the way they seem to match up and bond, and Marcel, even we saw it late again, Alex, the ability just to look up and release Neto a couple of times, got Wolves down the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, see when you've got that out ball and you're kind of looking up as a fullback and you're in that deeper area, you're just looking for someone that you can actually just find a little lovely ball down at the channel. But these guys make that, Mikey. I can't emphasise enough. See if you've got runners. Tom will play at the back. If you've got runners and you're just clipping balls in behind, first and foremost, as defending that type of ball, it's a killer. It's a killer. You don't want to trap it because these guys have got so much ability inside, outside, and they've got pace to burn.
Yeah. Well, the worst thing that you want as a defender is somebody running at you with pace. And Neto does that exceptionally. So look, you just watch it, the way that he gets the ball and he's straight off. And that's what we like about him. So look, the way that his confidence has come and the way that he knows that one-on-one he can get past anyway, as he's proven there with the goal.
Tomo, just hold on there because we are going to get some reaction. Actually, no, I'm being told again it's no. We thought they were ready. We thought they were ready and waiting to talk to us. And once again, I'm getting some duff information here. I'm just a little bit rattled, to be honest, that Alex Rae has come on and got his prediction right.
Yeah, Mikey, do you know what I was expecting? You keep looking round to your right there. I'm expecting Neto to throw you another dummy, mate. He's just throwing dummies.
He's looking towards me because I got it right with you. That's what it is.
No, not. Tomo is that way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That way to our producer. Because Tomo's going to claim this, Alex. But basically, he just copied you. That's what happened.
Yeah. Mikey, do you know what the interesting thing is? Chris, the interesting thing about it is I listen to you guys and going, oh, I've got 4 right, and somebody's going, oh, I've got 5 right. I've got 100% record.
Right, okay. This time we can get some reaction from down in the dressing room and tunnel area. It says Marcel, but we can definitely tell that is the face of Connor Cody. Congratulations, my friend. What a big performance that was from you all tonight.
Thank you, fellas. Yeah, no, it was needed. The result that was needed, mate. It was something where we had a way of playing. We tried to stick to it, and listen, it's a fantastic result and a good night for everyone. Yeah.
Talk to me about the feelings when you see Pedro set off on that charge in that final few moments.
You're just praying for him to score, honestly, just to work a bit of magic to put it in the bottom corner like he did, because honestly, there's no better feeling of winning like that, coming from 1-0 down to when it shows the character. Listen, we've done it quite a lot over the years where we've come back in games and we don't want to go down, but we did, and the way we won it was fantastic. The lads kept on going. It became a bit of a basketball match at the end, which we don't want, but when you've got to deal with it, you deal with it, and luckily we've got some top players up the top end of the pitch who obviously do what they do, but it's fantastic finish and something we'll enjoy, definitely.
Funny football, isn't it? Sometimes only a couple of days ago you're on the end of a late goal and then it goes for you this time.
The emotions are ridiculous, mate, aren't they? The emotions. I've been a nightmare at home for the last 2-3 weeks. I'll be honest with you. My missus has just texted me there saying I can relax again now. I just told the lads, honestly, it's been an absolute nightmare. I've been in the living room on my own, telling them to leave me alone and everything. It's been a nightmare. So, no, the feeling of it's fantastic. And like I said, it was needed. It was something where we felt like we were unlucky last weekend against Villa to obviously come away with a loss. But to play like we did tonight, to bounce back, and that was a big thing, bouncing back, and against a top team as well. They are a top team.
Connor, I have to ask you, I've got to say the defending was amazing. It wasn't just like aimless defending, just launching the ball, just putting it. It was quality, it was playing out from the back. It was being composed in that situation. How important is that? And is that something that it's just down to organisation, or is that something that you work on? Because you see teams defending that they lash the ball, they go long, but there's every header, even the one way it was Willy Bolly or Saiss, he headed it down onto the penalty spot for it to be retrieved. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something, mate, where we look at it. We always say that, especially in the Premier League, I think, because it's so fast. I think if you start taking one and two touches when you're in tight bits of pressure, when you're just winning the ball back, it's hard. You get caught out. So we always say try and play one touch out of pressure, and we don't. We want to try and make that count in our area as well. Try and get us out. It gets us on the counter attack. We've got some fantastic players going forward, and we know that. So it's important you try and play one touch out of pressure. And I think the more we do that, it'll help us going forward. But yeah, it's something we try and put in our game. We can always improve. We can always get better, and that's something we want to improve on again.
Yeah, Connor, you went back to a back five tonight. Does that?
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit more comfortable with that? Because obviously you've got kind of the wing backs, you can play out for the back a lot, and you've got an extra body there which allows you to pop it about, particularly with the two midfielders that are tidy on possession. Yeah,
I knew that question was coming. I'm being honest with you, mate. I knew that was coming. No, it's something where obviously we're always trying to get better. Honestly, we've done that since the first day the gaffer came in. We've always tried to improve. So whether that's playing a back four or back five, we've always got the same principles in terms of trying to stick together, trying to keep the identity of the football club together, try and stay close, because that's when we're at our best. But you see, I think it's obvious when you play the five for so long and then you go back to it, I think it's always going to be a little bit more comfortable, but that doesn't stop us wanting to improve in a four. So whatever the gaffer wants to go forward with, that's great. We'll learn, we'll get better, we'll improve. And it's something that we enjoy doing that. We enjoy improving. Yeah. So, like I said, tonight, it's something we've played a five for many, many years, and it's something the boys know inside out. So going back to it's obviously fine, but that doesn't stop us wanting to improve in a four as well.
Go on, Tomo.
That was the question I was going to ask you.
You're sucking out your mouth, ain't it, Tomo?
Connor, he copied my 2-1 prediction.
There you
go, how important is it? Listen, I think one of the key things for me, Connor, is when I watch these, when you're absorbing that pressure, and because you're all good players for the back. It's not like the boys are mentioned, it's just a punt up the pitch. But see, when you've got Podence and Neto, you mean real blistering pace. How are these guys adapting to that? They're brilliant. I love watching these two wee guys.
Absolutely fantastic. And do you know what the best thing about them is, mate? They're brilliant people. They're here to improve the football club. And I say it plenty of times about all the lads who've come to the club, but they want to improve the football club. They want to get better. And that's the best thing I can say about them. They've got quality, of course. They've got talent. They've got all the talent in the world. You see some of the touches they both have tonight, Pedro's goals, some of the skills from Danielle and what he brings to our team. But more importantly for me, they're fantastic players. And they want to improve. And I think that's what's so good about having them in our club.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's a great smiler as well. I know that you've got a lot of time for Pedro Neto. We saw him.
He's a nuisance. What do you mean a lot of time?
But the smile on his face as everybody was coming up to hug him at the end, that's a special moment. And despite the fact there's no fans in this stadium, because full well this place would have gone crazy if this place was full. But everybody knows how much that would have meant to him especially.
And that's what I was going to say to you, mate. Can you imagine if we had 32,000 in there? It'd been absolutely incredible. I just spoke to my brother there and he said the scenes at home were incredible. And he said, imagine Molineux full in terms of that situation. And listen, we're open. It's not too far away. We're open. It's just around the corner. But listen, things are going on in the world that we don't like. We hate. We want to come out as soon as possible. But we're just praying and hoping for the fans back. Because honestly, the push they give us is absolutely massive. But for Pedro himself, it's fantastic. And listen, I think you can see him improving, can't you? Every single game, every single training session. And he's direct. He's so direct. He does it in training and he scores goals like that. So I'm absolutely over the moon for him. Brilliant.
And talking about goals, or nearly goals, we reckon that was your first.
Oh, don't mention it.
Mate, you should have heard the commentary. I was already about to scream.
Oh, he's got on stats and everything.
You can't mention a shot. The keeper waved at it.
It was like Vincent Kompany all those years ago for Man City.
No, it wasn't.
Sliding forwards, hitting it through the ball.
Do you know what, mate? I've never known a keeper to wave at a shot. He waved it past his post. Oh, mate, not again. Don't put me in that position again.
But mate, when you've been going forward for corners in the last couple of games, I've been having to check the stats every time.
Yeah, no, it's something that obviously the manager wanted to do. Obviously, we played a four last few games, but went back to my usual role tonight, which I quite enjoy. And I talk quite a bit, so I'll just talk from my usual role tonight. It was fine.
Connor, how good is it for Otasowie to make his debut tonight, or to come on properly in the game like this?
Oh, fantastic, mate. And I think more importantly, the confidence he showed. I think the confidence he showed was fantastic. Stepping out with the ball, showing how powerful he is. Listen, he's a great lad. And you see him improving every day in training. You really do. He trains with us all the time now. And he's a real, real good lad. He gets on with his business and gets on with trying to get better. And listen, it's fantastic to see him out there tonight. I think over the years, we've played quite a lot of young lads. And obviously, he's the next one because we've got some top young players at the club. But I thought he was fantastic tonight, honestly. He kept his shape. He stayed together because, listen, it's not an easy game to come on to.
Especially the old man of the team now, aren't you?
Tell me about number 27. Don't start calling me that. I think he was getting annoyed with me at the end because I kept on going up to him, trying to tell him to stay inside, and he wants to go and get the ball. So I think he was getting a cob on with me at the end, to be fair.
Final question, Connor, before we let you go tonight. There was a similar result against Chelsea at a similar time of year 2 seasons ago, and it felt like a big moment then. The challenge for you all now is to make sure that this night is a similarly big moment in the course of your season.
It's huge. And we were saying coming off the pitch there, let's move forward now. It's something we want to move forward. You don't want to dwell. Listen, we'll enjoy tonight. It's a fantastic result for the football club against, like I said, a real top team who are doing really well at the top end of the table. So that was big for us. But listen, we want to keep on moving forward. We want to keep on getting better. And I think you can see that the last few weeks, whether, like I said before, whether we're playing a 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. We just want to keep on getting better and keep on picking up results. And that's the most important thing. So I think everybody knows that this team will keep on doing that. They'll keep on moving forward to try and improve and get better. And for us, that's the most important thing, mate. It really is.
Listen, mate, well played tonight. Thank you very much for your time and Merry Christmas to you and everyone.
Cheers, fellas. Have a real good one. Right.
I
don't speak to you. Have a good Christmas.
You too.
See you soon. Connor Cody joining us on Matchday Live Extra tonight. We mentioned it, that defensive unit, Chris Iwelumo, they were all very good tonight. Unfortunate for the goal they conceded, really. But apart from that, they dealt with a lot that was thrown at them. And you can't really think of too many things Rui Patricio actually had to do.
No, exactly, and that just says they've done their job very well, and not just defensively there. Like Connor said, it's about playing out from the back, that one touch, not taking too many risks and unnecessary risks, and like you're saying, having the quality to play out, to drive out the way that they do. I thought defensively, and you know what, it was a fantastic goal from Giroud, but again, it was one of those things. Defensively, it was an outstanding performance. Going forward, they were picking players out all over the pitch. You touched on Martial and Saiss, but everyone, Willy Bolly stuck his head in there so many times, put his body on the line. Connor doing what he does, organising, communicating, and again, some timely challenges. So you've got to say, and that's what you build on. I think all managers try and say, build on the back, you don't concede, and you've got players, quality players that can turn the game on its head, and that's exactly what Wolves have got.
It's the interesting point, isn't it, Tomo, that, look, I think Alex might have mentioned it earlier. We talk about character sometimes, about the squad of players, and going 1-0 down on a night like this, having had a bit of bad luck at the weekend, having had a fair amount of bad luck over the last couple of weeks, including losing Raul Jimenez, it's a moment when you look at it and you go, right, now we're going to learn an awful lot about you guys as players. What is in your character? Are you just going to roll over and accept defeat now? Or are you going to dig in and fight back? And what we saw was them dig in and fight back.
Yeah, but I think that comes from the manager as well. I think that the character that he's got and the belief that he's got in his team, we've seen it since he's come to this club. You see that the players play with passion. They want to win. They don't stop running. They keep going. And that's what the manager's instilled in his team. And it's great to see. So, look, going till the end. They know they never give up. That's the thing about this team. They never give. They play for all the time they've got in that second half to make sure that they see the game out, try and get a winning goal and drive forward. And again, it comes from Nuno for me. I think that the character, he picks the right people for the team, it picks the right people for the squad. And it just shows you what kind of team we have got at the moment.
We're going to get you some more reaction from down in the dressing room area. We can be joined here on Wolves TV's Matchday Live Extra by a Premier League debutant this evening. Congratulations, Owen Otazawi. How did that feel to make your Premier League debut?
It was good, exciting. I enjoyed it as well.
There's a hell of a game to come on into.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind as you were thinking about it on the side of the pitch?
If I'm being honest, not much. Just come on, enjoy myself and try and make an impact in the game.
Be excited, big man. You sound as if I can see the excitement in your face now. Are you excited?
I was going to say,
yeah, man. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm just a very tame guy.
It's all about taking your chance, and you've done exactly that. Conor Cody said there, you're improving every day. You know, you're humble. You're working your socks off. You've came on and you've delivered a very high caliber game. You were excellent. Your energy, your power, your distribution on the ball, fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What was it like, big man, playing against some of these household names? You know, you look at Pulisic and, you know, Kante and guys like that, you know, because obviously you've worked very hard. Conor Cody was saying you've just come into the, you know, the squad and you're training with more regular now. But to come on and play so well against, you know, a calibre of player like that must be brilliant.
Yeah. I don't really look at, like, I don't think about, like, who a player is type of thing. Like, I just play the game type of thing. I don't really look up to a player or anything like that. Like, I will just go into the game thinking, like, I just need to play my game. It's me against whoever I'm against, and I need to win my 1v1s and whatnot.
Yeah, what was you thinking when you nearly got contact in that opportunity to score?
Oh. I was just, after it happened, I was just thinking, I just need it a little bit lower, but...
Because you're,
like I say,
for people that like, Owen is always this laid back. This is what I love about Owen. Like, even, I mean, and to be fair, mate, you played it like you've played when you've played in the under-23s, and that's what I think is important. And I wonder where that comes from, that kind of, the ability just to trust in yourself, I guess.
I think it's just a bit of confidence and just knowing your ability, and also the encouragement of the players around you. Like in training, like I'm playing with players who push and try and help everyone develop as well. So it kind of helps my confidence and helps my ability improve. So when I come to games like this, like I don't really feel the pressure or feel like I'm out of place type of thing.
Because it's been an incredible couple of weeks with everything that happened with the USA as well.
Yeah.
What's next? What have you still got to improve on?
I'm trying to improve on my everyday game, technical, tactical, just everything, to be honest. I've never seen myself as the finished product, and I'm just trying to continue to improve, and the players around me are helping with that as well.
Listen, congratulations, Owen. It's a special moment for any player to get that kind of opportunity, and you took it really well, and hopefully there might be some more for you. I guess that's the big thing.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's keep working. Appreciate it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Congratulations.
Good luck. Well done, big man.
All the best. Well done.
Thank you.
Take care.
Owen Otasowie here on Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV. I tell you, boys, he is one of the most laid-back characters you will ever meet. He's like that at any point, and you can see maybe why he kind of fits in, you know, because he knows he's still got to work, Alex. That's the key point that's drilled into him, but he's confident in himself to be able to just go in there and do it.
Listen, the one thing, and listen, I've only spent 5 minutes listening to the boy there, and the one thing I like about him is it looks to me as if he's focused on what he's actually trying to do. He's not interested in who he's playing against. You know, he's kind of in the zone. What have I got to do? What have I got to overcome? Yeah. And I quite like that. It's a kind of quiet confidence. And, you know, I think with the guys I've seen him more than I have, but he looks a right big old unit, and I think as if he will grow in stature. And the one thing that Conor Cody has said as well in terms of people's character, he looks like a good type. You know, he's got a big smile on his face. And if you're getting nurtured in the right environment, you know, we're saying Conor Cody's 27. Then you've got a manager who's, for me, gets the best out of players. You very rarely see players get back the way under him. Yeah. So I think there's a real good future for this guy going forward. And as I mentioned earlier on, Neto and Podence and guys like that. So if I'm a young player being linked to Wolves, all of a sudden I just had to have a look back and go, what are they actually doing with the guys that they're bringing in? And I would say to myself, they are bringing people leaps and bounds. Jota went to Liverpool, get the really big move. So that would be things that would encourage me. If I was a player coming to the club and my agent said to me, I'd be going, it makes sense. And you can see they develop young kids.
One of the things I really love, though, Chris Iwelumo, is quite clearly, you could tell him that he'd won the lottery, or you could tell him that he had a speeding fine, and it would probably be the same reaction.
Yeah, but like Alex said there, he's not phased. He knows what his strengths are, and like I say, he's in a good environment. He's getting better. He understands that, and to come on in the game at that moment in time and just get on it, just get on with it, and do what he knows that he can do. That says so much.
Absolutely. It was a really impressive all-round team performance, I think, and they will take an awful lot from this, Tomo. I mentioned to Connor Cody there about the fact that, 2 years ago, it was a pivotal moment. They hadn't won in 6 games at that point, and they were 1-0 down at half-time, and they managed to turn it round. Okay, it was just after half-time this time when they conceded, but they were staring down the barrel of losing 3 games in a row for the first time since that run.
Yeah.
And now everyone will give them a bit of breathing space.
Look, so everybody's writing them off about tonight's game with the form that Chelsea were in. I know they had the defeat at the weekend, but people were saying this, and I was one of them. I thought that Chelsea were one of the strongest squads in the league. And to come tonight, so like on the back of 2 defeats, you're thinking, hang on a minute, so look, we need to put in a performance. He's changed the formation. He's gone back to something that we've used for years. But again, they've gone out there and performed, haven't they? They've got the right result. They've gone out there and made sure that they got a performance, and that was the thing for me. They never give up, and that's one thing about these the Nuno's teams. They don't give up. They keep going. They've gone a goal down, and they've got the character to come out there and make sure they get something. Really good from them. I mean, we've almost gone through everybody in the team, haven't we? To be honest, it was one of those nights that really kind of stood out. But if I pushed you for a man of the match from each of you, Looms, who would you actually go for?
Oh, tell you what. Oh, that's a hard one, because again,
you're going to have to say something. People are watching this.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Look at you looking at the team.
It's too hard to call. Obviously, Neto's got the winning goal. You think about that, but you look defensively as well. Look at Bolly, Saiss, they put their head where it matters and we're great. But again, I'm a striker. It's all about goals, isn't it? They get the glory. So probably Neto then, I would say. Neto. Tomo?
Yeah, I'll go with that. With his, I thought that, especially in the second half, I thought he played really well. I thought that he pushed on. He was somebody who looked like he was going to get that winning goal as he did.
Yeah, I'm going for Neto. Listen, I was going for Neto before the big man took 5 minutes to look at his team sheet. I was the fact that he got the goal and then obviously driving into the box. You can't underplay that type of stuff because it's making a difference at the highest level. Mikey, you mentioned about in terms of where does this take them 2 years ago and things. It takes them up to 9th. The confidence that these guys will get now, the confidence of going back to their familiar shape, and I just feel as if they may well kick on now.
Okay, well, let's talk about it because, coming up now, it's an interesting little period. They obviously go to Burnley next Monday night, which on paper is a very winnable game. We know football's not played on paper, all that kind of stuff. But genuinely, it's a real potential for them. Tomo's got to go off to the little boys' room. You've seen passing by.
It's his age.
It is, yeah. He normally goes at half-time. And then Spurs and Man United looms over the Christmas period. So, it's another interesting run for them of the games.
Yeah, it is. But like you say, Chelsea have came this evening and we've got the results. So you got to look at all these games. I think all the teams have had a probably disappointing weekend. They've got to react to that. But what's the formation going to be? You can see Connor Cody there. I think Nuno will look at how well they've done tonight. But again, he is flirting with the 4. He might want to try and see. It's a very winnable game. We create chances in that formation. So as a manager, you don't just stick with things. He went to Arsenal, played a 4. We were all surprised. It got the result. So it's like every game, Wolves are competitive. We've got the quality that we've got individuals that can win us games that we don't deserve. If we can go out there and do a defensive job, which we showed tonight against Leeds, were outstanding. We should have been a mile behind at half time, but we go and win that game 1-0. Job done. You know, so we have the quality to do that and see a game out. They're all winnable games. They genuinely are all winnable games.
Yeah, it's interesting because the big chap talks about the formations, Mikey, and if you take the last game against Villa, they went to a back four, so it may well be a back four against teams that they feel as if they're better suited. You know, in the bigger games, go back to the five. But one of your earlier questions to the chaps was, what is the benefit of going to a back four? It allows you to get an extra player further up the field. So again, I think it'll be horses for courses. But I just feel the way that they set up, and with the personnel they've got, middle to front, Podence and Neto, you just absorb pressure. And then that was a prime example of Wolves at their best. You know, that counter-attacking play, because you get the guys 1v1, you're in trouble. So again, it's about kicking on, getting the players refreshed, seeing how Dendoncker is, because he's obviously pivotal moving forward. You wouldn't want to lose him for any period of time. Willie Bolly was holding his hamstring as well. So it's a case of getting these guys back into the treatment table, get assessed, and then obviously try and get them all back for next week.
I mean, it probably will depend on the availability of certain players, as you mentioned. I guess if Willie Bolly drops out, they do have Max Kilman that could potentially come in. He's more of a left-footer, but I guess, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean a great deal. Right-footers play on the left-hand side of defence all the time. One of the interesting things, though, that I wanted to get maybe from all of you is that element of, because there will be fans that will be watching this tonight and will be looking at it and saying, we went back to five at the back and we played counter-attack football and we won the game. So why would we go to four at the back and put more attackers on? That's just that's not necessarily my view. That's the view that some will have watching this. So what do we say as an answer?
Well, it was very interesting what Sam Ricketts said, because he actually said, playing with the three of the five, sometimes you can question the brand of football that you're seeing. But I think we're all in agreement. What we've seen tonight was how that can be played, and very nice on the eye as well, very offensive, you know, getting bodies forward. And it's interesting what Alex said there. When you go for it at the back, it allows you to get that extra man forward. But if you play with the three at the back, then it allows you to get two extra forwards. You understand that in wide positions. So again, if it's played the way that it's played tonight, and sometimes it's not, sometimes you're going to come up against a team that's very dominant. Liverpool, Man City, when we had them at home, they were very dominant. We were sitting, we never had that quality to play out. But if it's played well, now Nuno said at the start of the season, it's about he wants to score more goals. He's put that to the players, individuals. We want you to score more goals. You know, so I think maybe, like you say, he tried to tweak the formation because he wanted a certain personnel to be brought in, and that's I think that's good management. You know, he's like you say, the players are open to it. You know, it's again, if you can go from a 4 to a 3 and it changes, it should probably change throughout a match anyway. You know, if you're under the cosh, you have centre backs that pull people in. But I think it's something that he has in his mind, he has in his plans. He's not just going to discard it now and stick with this, because he's trying to evolve the team.
Tomo?
Yeah, I think that he's trying new ideas, he's trying new formations with this team. And I think that he'll probably look at it and look at the games, i.e. he's looked at the game tonight and thinking they're going to be a difficult team coming forward. We'll go to the three. To be fair, for me, I said to you on commentary that we look more comfortable, we look more confident in the back three. Connor Cody was allowed to distribute those balls a lot more, a lot easier. Picked his target a lot of the time. So they look more comfortable. And look, it's something that they've been settled into. But for me, I don't think he'll discard it, as Looms is just saying on there. I think that he'll carry on, depending on what game we're playing and who he's going to play, more importantly, that he'll change the formation. And look, as we said, he wants to evolve this team, and that's what he's going to have to do. He needs to start changing things. And people have questioned him about, we're only going to play with three at the back. Well, now he's trying other things because he needs to. So, look, he needs to develop the team, and against opposition, he'll change the formations.
Maybe I'll be pushed into it, Alex, because he might not have a Adama Traore. We saw him obviously getting some treatment in the game there. I mean, if he's not available, then there isn't you don't have a natural replacement to go with all four.
Yeah, listen, it's not just a case of when do you play this again, it's personnel. Then it's obviously the opposition and then what's available to you. So obviously, Traore, it wasn't the kick that I think troubled him tonight. It was the way that he landed after. It was almost as if he rocked his ankle and it was giving him a bit of discomfort. But I think as a manager, he prefers the back three because he likes players, the two midfielders to play, and he loves pace in the wider areas, and Jimenez leading it. Obviously, he has to adapt because of the circumstances at the moment. But I think the fact that he's actually gone to a 4, he recognises that he has to be flexible at times. You can't be this one, and I know I'm diversing a wee bit. Steven Gerrard, since he came to Rangers, plays a 4-3-3, similar to Liverpool. And then recently he's actually gone to a back 5 at times. And what I'm trying to say is he has broadened his horizons as a manager. It can't just be one formation and that suits all. And I like the fact that he's gone to a 4 because it's just a different option. It's a plan B.
Absolutely. It'll be really interesting. And I've said this a couple of times. It is the most fascinating period for a long while because we genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
He might go back to 4 next week. They might leave it at the 5. They might throw in a couple more instances as well. That's just kind of the way it's been. And I guess if we're guessing, and certainly, so we watch them all the time, then the teams they're coming up against will be guessing. And maybe there's an advantage in that, perhaps. I don't know, Looms. Is that a case sometimes?
Of course. I think it's the team will, you know what it is. Alex has sat there, he's set up, he's thought about he's went through the videos, he's looked at what the opposition's going to be bringing, and then you have to prepare for all scenarios. So we've just threw something else into the mix now, but like you say, it's all about the principles are the same, and a back 4, a back 3, when you've got wing backs or full backs that get with the energy of Semedo and Martial that's going to bomb forward. It's simple that the centre backs can split and then you bring a midfielder. That's what Leeds used to do when the wings back allowed the wing backs to go and they still had someone to protect. There's so many little principles that you can bring in. Nuno is one of the best out there. He's prepared for every scenario. He's trying to evolve the team. He's trying to, like you say, when he has all the personnel to select from, it's going to be interesting because he has. He's went to a 4. That's what we started with. Remember at Arsenal, I know Jimenez got injured and got taken off, but we won at Arsenal with a 4.
Well, as we say, we are brilliantly unpredictable at the minute, and who knows what is going to happen from this Wolves team. Thank you very much for your company, Andy Thompson, the 100% record Alex Rae, and Chris Iwelumo here tonight on Matchday Live Extra. Wolves TV brings you coverage of the under-18s in the FA Youth Cup on Friday night. Make sure you tune in for that from just before 7 o'clock. And Matchday Live Extra is back next Monday from Burnley. Whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of the week because Pedro Neto produced something special.